Hey everybody. Ooh, something just happened. Welcome to the stream. My name is Bernard Chang, professional comic book artist, and designer. Welcome to my stream. I'm going to be doing some sketching tonight, some shooting the shit tonight. Um, so hope you enjoy. I think we got a co-host tonight. Um, Jerry, you there? Did you get a
Hey, what's
token?
up, guys? Yeah,
Jerry.
sorry, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Let me see. Player select. Well, I still have not worked on the player select screen for Jerry. This is
it's
this is
it's
still
all good.
malfunction. It's only set to Sean, but Jerry, you're still in our hearts. There you go. We passed by you real quick. You are an option as a player select. Um, oof. Last stream was a doozy. Let me.
I heard you guys did the marathon.
Last stream was a doozy. Over 5 hours. I'm still
Now,
exhausted from it.
I saw on like when I came on, I just saw like your library of videos, and it
Hmm.
looks like it was so long that they had to split it up into two episodes.
Yeah, something happened, and it split into two episodes, and then we lost a bunch of people when it split into the second. Uh, when it split into the second episode.
That's intense.
So I have no idea what happened. Kevin P. West, thank you for the sub. Kevin P. West is the proud owner of the. I think Kevin swapped with Lurky Lurker, first timer one. Well, he said he's been on 3 times. So first time he typed something. Oh, there he is, Lurky Lurker. Let me go down the. Let me go down the roll call. Say hello to everybody before it gets too long. Jay Dang, thank you for the sub. Good to see you. How are you doing, Jamie Odell? Good to see you. Too woke to toke. Awesome emotes. I think everybody likes the Beavis emote a little bit better than the butthead because he's a little bit character. He's angry. um, Racer GRX, good to see you back again. Golf Boy Sunday, greetings from Vancouver, Canada. Long Woo, Long was here. How are you doing? Good to see you. Last stream was, I'm still exhausted, Jerry. I mean, my schedule
I
has been thrown off completely.
I think I left after like 2 hours, and I was exhausted just from the 2 hours.
Mr. Joshua, good to see you. Cool Hand Luke, how are you doing? There's another cool hand. We have two cool hands. This is Cool Hand Luke, and then there's a Cool Hand Mike, I think. Maybe cousins. First cousins, second cousins. Um, Jamie Odell. Barry, good to see you, Barry. It's been a minute. Good to see you. Uh, Kevin P. West, Lurky Lurker. Roy Batty.
Oh, Kevin
Awesome.
West took out Jerry Judy from his lineup. Oof.
Oh, yeah? Kevin P. West, he had a big day, right? He had a 40 something yard touchdown earlier.
Yeah, it bounced off the Jet defender's helmet into his
That
hands.
That's the Jets for you, Jerry.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm a Jets fan. It's the worst.
I mean, when was the last time the Jets were good?
I don't know.
Mark
Honestly, I don't
Gastineau?
know.
I remember when I was young, the Jets and the Dolphins have a huge rivalry, right? Because there's a lot of like New Yorkers living in Miami, especially snowbirds. People that live in New York go down to Miami in the winter years. I mean, winter months. Live there for a few months, and after the winter, they fly back, go back to New York. So whenever the Jets would come and play the Dolphins, and also the first few years, whenever the Knicks would play the Heat, the home stadiums would be like mixed, almost 50-50, 55-45 New York fans. Wildstorm SCCG, good to see you. Uh, Chiming in again with the Death Below suggestion. But the thing is, Wildstorm, even if you suggest Death Blow and then I draw Death Blow, you go to sleep, so you're not going to win it unless you work out something with whoever does win. What do you think is gonna? So only the what first portion we're gonna talk a little bit about fantasy football, since Jerry and I are in the same league. Well, I'm in Jerry's league. I guess that's a better way of putting it. With the two quarterback situations that we had the fantasy football draft, and so we got two teams out this week. Is it?
Yeah, it looks like the Vikings game is just gonna. I think they might replay it like on Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, so the
Uh,
Vikings is gonna play, but the Tennessee Titans game is going to be postponed.
yeah, or the Pittsburgh game. Whoever Pittsburgh is playing.
Pittsburgh and the Titans, because the Titans were the
Oh
ones
yeah.
that had the COVID outbreak. Mm. Well,
So who did you pick up for your extra player?
oh, there's an extra player you can pick up.
Yeah.
What was that all
So
about?
because everyone was just complaining to me that
Jerry
they
just
wanted
said no
extra.
mercy. Fuck it, they gotta drop some people. I mean, that's the whole thing about the season is because of COVID. It's just like an injury,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, what's gonna happen next if there's like two teams or four teams that are, and there was plenty of time. There was the news was what, like
Yeah,
Tuesday,
they were on top
Wednesday.
of it.
Yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesday, we already knew at least the Titans were probably not gonna play, and if they're not gonna play, then whoever they're facing is not gonna play.
I just feel like this season doesn't really matter anyway.
I guess it's only $10. Now we just lost most of our viewers talking about fantasy football. Let's see here.
Well, actually, I want to say thanks to everyone that actually joined in on the GI Joe sketch thing this past week. So that was pretty cool.
Never again. That's all I'm saying. Never again. I can't even find the screen now. I'm so exhausted. Here we go. This was the Storm Shadow sketch. Ugh. This took
Came out
forever.
good.
This pinky I'm
So
not too happy with.
I was dying to ask you, did you memorize that strap of his across his chest by memory?
No, I had the reference up. I had the toy,
Oh,
a
okay.
picture of the toy up. He
Because
also,
I was going to say that's super impressive.
in the toy, they also stuffed like some Chinese stars and a blade, like a little dagger in his like waist belt. But I didn't want to bother with that. Plus, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, they do like, I guess ninjas do stuff like shit in their belt here, like their cummerbund. Is that what they call it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Ninjas are always going to proms. Okay, all right, birdies. Hold on a sec. The birds want to come out of the cage.
I just always wondered what made characters like Storm Shadow, Quick Kick, the other Asian female ninja girl, why did they think bringing a sword and a bow and arrow to a laser gun fight was smart?
Yeah, or even like bullets. Well, laser guns, yeah. Laser guns and bullets. I mean, in reality, it's like bullets, but in the cartoon, it was like lasers.
I guess they didn't have to work. Actually, those weapons make more sense because, yeah, no one ever was able to hit anyone with a gun.
I guess. Did they ever slice anybody's arm
Did
off?
anyone ever get shot? Ever?
I don't think so. Maybe in the comic book, I think people died. But
I
I
don't know
don't.
about die. Maybe they got hurt.
Well, like in that silent interlude episode, issue 21, like Scarlet was kidnapped by Storm Shadow, and I think she was like a little roughed up. El Capone, tactical cummerbund. Yes. Yeah.
A tactical
I mean,
compliment.
you figure you can keep a lot of shit in there. It's like a feudal fanny pack, right? It's a
You
very
could hide like a corsage.
Yeah. I mean, you can hide like keys in there. You can hide like
Wait a minute. Storm Shadow died in the comic,
he did.
and his DNA was used to make Serpentor. Is that true, or is Yojimbo just pulling our legs?
Yo, Jimbo, you like moderating two streams because Michael is on too right now still, right? You got jumping back and forth. Damn, this guy is good. Yo, Jimbo tried to tough it out, but I outlasted Yo, Jimbo last time. Oh, there's Michael. Ah, good to see. Oh, Michael's rating with a party of 21. Awesome. Michael, how are you doing? Good to see you. I was wondering, I'm like, man, Yojimbo has like, he's modding 2 streams at the same time. I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
So we could probably get away with a lot of stuff today then.
Well, yeah. But now it looks like Michael's in here now, so um, Michael Di Nicola, if you guys want to give him a follow, if you're not following him already, um, he's a godfather of Twitch art. He's the guy that taught me everything I know. In order for us to hear Jerry, this was Michael's secret. Um, he taught me how to do the secret thing where if you say something, you'll see Jerry's butt light up.
Oh, cool.
There you go. See?
Wait, what?
And then because Jerry
Thank
has
you
like
for
a
the shiny hiney, Michael.
yeah, Jerry has like a his bubble butt lights up.
Look at there it goes. It's like a Christmas ornament.
I still gotta animate Jerry's mouth. Um, Michael, I don't know if Michael has seen. I got Sean. Sean might come on later, but here, let's see. That's Sean's body. Sean's not here. Well, he's lurking. But then Sean's face we've animated. Did you see this one?
The lips
He's
are
kissing.
just so funny.
He's giving a kiss and a wink. He's kissing you like, and a wink. It's very subtle. But you know, that's the true Sean. Sean also says, "What the fuck?" Oops, I just moved something.
I hope we get Sean's sister up in here tonight.
Yeah, well, she's in the Bay Area, Northern California. She's probably on the crime scene. Sean's sister is a forensic medical examiner. So whenever there's a crime, she's there at the scene, taking pictures, trying to assess how the victim died. Yeah, he's got those Mr. Sinister lips, right? They're kind of dark. What does that mean? Like Sean needs like some vitamin C or vitamin D?
Maybe he was drinking like prune juice.
Yeah, maybe he has like some liver problems from. I don't know. I've been drinking some of this. This is my drink of choice lately called Ugly.
What is ugly?
I bought this purely based on the logo. I was like, that's a really cool fucking logo for like a drink. It's like an energy drink.
So it's full of sugar?
No, there's no sugar. It's all natural. Natural caffeine, guarana, no sweeteners, nothing artificial, no sugar. It's like seltzer water, but this is flavored, has like a grapefruit flavor to it. Growing up in Miami, I've been a big fan of grapefruit, but I think more so when I was young, I was a pudgy boy. I mean, I still am. Did you ever? I used to have to shop in the husky section of Sears.
You were shopping in the section of Sears?
Sears was like where we got a lot of our clothes. Sears Roebuck Company, because they would, they would send out these catalogs, right? This is all before the internet. And then that's also like the Sears catalog was also slash porn because you'd flip to the women's section and they'd have like lingerie and bras and be like, oh, right? Like what? I don't know. I'm in elementary school, like first, second, third grade. So Sears had a husky section, what they call, the husky, like the husky dog, but like husky, like kind of like, it's like for
the juicy section.
for like chubby boys. So, that because then those clothes are a little bit wider on the stomach. Back then, like clothes were very form fitting, and then sometime in the 90s, clothes got really super baggy, and now they're back to like form fitting, but they call it now athletic cut, right? Is that what they say? Athletic cut. Who here? Raise your hand. Used to look at those Sears Roebuck, JCPenney. Those catalogs are thick. They're like, you know, like a dictionary thick. And there'd be like women's clothing, men's clothing, children's clothing, and then there'd be like toys. Then like everything in like Sears has everything in it, right? They have like gardening equipment, refrigerators, home appliances, bedding, bathroom stuff. It's like you go there, you get everything. But now, yeah, nowadays I don't think I don't. Is I'm sure there's still like, is there still Sears? Sears and Roebuck?
There was a Sears in Manhattan for a little while. I think it might have gone out of business though.
Yeah. I mean, they're big, like they're huge complexes. Like they're like a huge building because you go in there and there's all these different sections. Basically, like like if my mom or dad they would go there to go shopping, they'd like drop me off in the toy section. I just hang out there all day. I don't know. Has Michael ever been in the Sears? So, anyways, where am I going with this? I just fucking lost my train of thought again.
Well, I guess you're thinking about how erotic the Sears catalog was.
Oh yeah, so
So
that's like porn for like kids back then. I mean, you don't see anything. You just they're all in the women are all in their bras.
hubba hubba.
But then if you focused enough, you can kind of see like nipples through the bra. Um, yeah, Sears went bang. So like there were like a whole bunch of these Sears Roebuck. There was Montgomery Ward, J.C. Penney. J.C. Penney is still in. When I went to pick up your masks at the Ding Tai Fung, they had a J.C. Penney's at the mall. I was
Was
like,
it called JCPenney or JCP?
it was called J.C. Penney's.
Oh, okay. Because at least in New York,
Yeah,
JCPenney was actually, they paid gajillions of dollars to the guy that marketed Apple,
yeah,
and then he changed it to JCP
yeah. A lot of like,
because
I
he
mean,
thought,
like
oh,
Kentucky Fried
cool.
Chicken is KFC. I think that was like back in the early 2000s or late 90s, early 2000s. A lot of companies decided to
Yeah.
modernize because like J.C. Penney's is like Woolworths. Woolworths is like a drugstore. You know, that was like around forever. I think Woolworths is still around, but
I think they are.
yeah, but they're like a CVS or Rite Aid. Um,
Did you ever hear of Family Fair or Family Fair? Was that what it was called? Damn, I went to one of those. Oh, God, with our family, we always my dad would take us to like these basically like going out of business outlet warehouse stores to buy like me and my brother's clothing for school.
yeah, berries like Zayres and Burdines. That was Miami. Burdines. Yeah, Burdines and Zayres. There was an Aventura Mall. Barry and I lived across the highway from. Well, was it the highway? Was it? No, it wasn't 995. It was like West Dixie Highway, and then there was like another major street, and on the other side was the Aventura Mall, and then there was another mall that had the arcade in it. What was the mall that had the arcade in it? And it had a movie theater. Barry. Uh, Woolworths was like a place that you could go and eat, like also ice cream. So, anyways, J.C. Penney's. I mean, in New York City too. When I first moved to New York to go to college, and we'd go explore around Manhattan, the one thing I found was like, man, there was like no public bathrooms in Manhattan. You
You
know,
can't.
you had to like go into like eat at a place, and a college student, I didn't have any money. This is before I started working. I was like, fucking, I don't want to like piss in an alley or like um, so we'd have to go to Macy's, and you can use the bathroom at Macy's, and then we go to
They
Macy's
have
and
a
play
really
video
good
games.
bathroom there.
Yeah, and then we can you can use then we go to the toy level and you play video games at Macy's. Loman's Plaza, there you go, Barry. Loman's Plaza, yeah, is that still there? I haven't been. I know Aventura Mall is like now like all super nice and shit. So, anyways, if anybody's from Miami, you guys will know what we're talking about. So this was the Storm Shadow drawing from Tuesday night, 5+ hour marathon. Threw off my
You could have
entire.
watched. You could have watched two of the three Lord of the Rings.
I could have. I mean, I don't know. It was just. It was fucking. It threw off my It threw off my schedule, and so far, and so my schedule is still whacked. Today I woke up earlier, and then I was so exhausted I ate something and went back to sleep, and now I'm back up. So we gotta power through this, but I got a bunch of work too I gotta do. Um, so Jerry came up with a good idea about creating some new characters here on stream for a universe, for a story.
You're going to go with that tonight, or
Well, I still want to. I want to flesh out the base fundamentals of this universe first, right? Before we start creating
yeah,
characters. And since we talked this morning, that was before I went to sleep, and then I went to sleep, but I didn't get. I only got like 4 or 5 hours sleep, so I'm like groggy. So I think I want to like design the main character first, or at least the premise of it, and then set up a premise of like parameters of categories, right? And then what we're going to do on stream is we're going to set up categories and then polls, and then you guys can vote on certain categories. You know, category 1, category 2, category 3, maybe I think 3 to 5 maximum categories. And then based off of whatever the poll is for that day, that's the character that I'll design for this universe. And then once we get a handful of characters, then I can start coming up with stories. So kind of like crowdsourcing. I'd say more like a creative charrette brainstorm session, but you guys get to help contribute by polls. So I think it would be kind of fun for everyone. Yeah, and then like, if you guys wanted, yeah. So I still got I gotta think about it. There's I think it's a great idea. It'd be really fun for everyone. I got all these ideas already in my head, but I want to do something. I want to get it going first, right? And then I'll bring it to you guys. So we might stream again this weekend. You know, I don't know. Like Sunday would be ideal to stream, but Sunday we got NFL and Red Zone. I mean, Red Zone's like crack, right? Red Zone's like football on cocaine. If any of you have Red Zone, that's amazing. Do you have Red Zone, Jerry? You have Red Zone.
yeah. It's the best, but also the worst thing that ever happened to me because my days have become so unproductive ever since football has started.
Yeah, like your Sunday is completely whacked. At
Yeah,
least for
I need to get out and do something.
at least for me on the West Coast, the games start early. They start 10 a.m. and they run until about the afternoon. So I still have like even the evening game, the NFL Sunday night game, ends around 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock my time. So I still have like a little bit of time in the day to do stuff, you know. But on the East Coast, you guys are like that's the entire day.
Yeah, I literally spent last Sunday entirely on my couch just watching football.
Oh
I felt like such a scrub.
shit! Barry said the Heat game's on Sunday too. Fuck, that's right. They better win tomorrow. They better win tomorrow.
But I think this whole character creating process is going to be great just because I don't know. I don't have that much Twitch experience, but this group of guys in here, really, everyone here is so cool. And I think they're just really like positive and have a good energy. I think it's going to be really fun with these guys.
I really enjoy like coming on. I know you do too, Jerry. You've expressed that.
Yeah.
And Sean maybe not so much because you know Sean's got like.
Well, Sean is, yeah, he's the dollar signs. That's all he cares about.
But, and Jim, yeah, but you know Jim's weighing sushi, real estate investment, or Twitch, and comic books or Twitch. So, but yeah, so I mean, like, cause another idea that I had, I told Jerry, was that I think I might have mentioned this early in one of the very early streams, is to do some kind of like mashup comic book um, uh, story here. So like similar thing where I would do a poll like, okay, let's choose one character
Oh, like a
from
choose your own adventure.
yeah, like choose one character from Marvel, choose one character from DC, choose one character from like a third, sci-fi universe, whatever. We'll do like a mashup team book, and then we'll think of like, okay, choose one in a environment, choose one building, choose one verb, choose one adjective, and then from that we can come up with a story. You guys, chime in with um, different things that you want, and they could be completely all random, off topic. And then we'll try to make it work into a story, and then I'll actually draw it as a comic here. Um, and then if other people want to contribute, if some people want to color it or whatever, uh, and then we wouldn't be able to sell it, but you could print it out and um, because we're using copyrighted characters. So.
Well, actually, Bernard,
Mm-hmm.
think of selling. Speaking of selling, excuse me. New York Comic Con is supposed to be next week. Are you going to be
Oh,
doing any commissions for New York Comic Con?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the commission is on my Big Cartel site.
Oh, okay.
But this week and next week, I'm going to be slammed with a deadline, with two deadlines.
Got it.
Because I got to get this stuff done because I think we might be starting on another project soon. So I got the feeling that the other project's about to start, and I need to wrap up these loose ends on some of these comics, on some of this comic stuff. Is Michael still here? Poop Kid, good to see you. So, yeah, I mean, oh shit, what was I gonna show you guys today too? The Giant Size X-Men came out on Wednesday. Did anybody pick that up? It was a tribute to Len Wein and Dave Cockrum. And let me grab that real quick. Hold on. Jerry, entertain the masses.
All right. All right, let me just stop what I'm doing here. Well, okay, so I don't know. I hope everyone's going to be joining us for the Battle of the Sketches again next week. I believe between me, Andy, a couple of other guys, we'll be posting up on Monday on our Instagrams who the topic is going to be for that coming week. So we're all essentially cranking the drawing out like on Tuesday night, and then we post it up on Wednesday. We use the hashtags of the sketches, sketch of the week, and comic Wednesday. So this was the first time we did it. It was pretty cool. We had some guys, especially a few guys from here, jump on and join us, and it was a lot of fun. If you guys tag any of us, then we'll repost it in our Instagram feeds. And ooh, look at this Sunfire. I love Sunfire.
All right, what did I miss?
Roy Batty, yes, we do it. We basically do everything on Instagram. So if you guys can jump on and check it out, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
You talking about the sketch of the week? Battle of the sketches? Battle of the sketches? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that more people will jump in this for next week because I thought it was pretty cool this week.
Yeah. No, I mean like we had Golf Boy, Long Woo. Who else had a submission? A couple.
There was a few. I think we had D. Rogers, right?
Yeah, D. Rogers. So they should follow you, and you'll announce it like when, over the weekend or something.
Yeah, either like Sunday night or Monday. Sometime during Monday. Most likely on Monday.
Yeah. And then we'll say like the earliest you can post is Wednesday.
Yeah, so we try to do it on Comic Wednesday.
12 a.m. Right, 12 a.m. Wednesday.
Yeah, if you tag any of us, the guys that are that started it, we'll put it up on our Instagram live feeds and hopefully get some more eyeballs onto everyone's work.
So this was my contribution to the Giant Size X-Men that came out this week. If you guys can see it.
Oh, that Sunfire is so nice, Jesus.
Let me see if we have. Thank you, Jerry. Let me see if I can pull up the original. This was one of the most coveted books, single issues in my collection. I don't remember. I gotta look through my
You own this original comic?
I gotta look through my long box, but it would take too much effort to look through a long box right now. I don't think I ever acquired a giant size X-Men #1. Um, I still remember, like, because I remember in the back of my head, the most expensive piece I ever got, most expensive comic book I ever bought was G.I. Joe #2, and that was like $75. Um, so Marvel's been publishing these tribute books. Uh, So Jimbo
But
passed, huh?
what was your first Marvel work?
My first ever Marvel work?
Yeah.
I think it was a Cable issue.
Oh wow.
I think it was an issue of Cable or an issue of X-Men. I don't remember. There was an issue
So
of,
the X universe is like kind of close to your heart then.
well, when I was collecting, it was my favorite. You know, I mean, G.I. Joe was a favorite. I was collecting G.I. Joe, Transformers, X-Men, Alpha Flight, um, Marvel Age.
Oh my
Marvel
god, those were great.
Marvel Age, does that really count? That's more like a magazine, right? That's like a...
I mean, I thought it was a comic. I thought that, I didn't really think of it as a magazine.
Then, where's my... Been cleaning my studio. Oh, here's my phone. We're at the 35-minute procrastination mark. Way, good to see you. Let me, hold on a sec.
Your Jimbo, Walt Simonson's Thor run, well, yeah. As much as I love Walt's Thor run, I do think his best comic, his best work, was the X-Men Teen Titans. That comic was just freaking unbelievable.
X-Men Teen Titans, yeah, that was...
Yeah, that was so good. Jesus,
Actually, I have it
I
right here.
remember I had that comic. We kept it. Me and my brothers. We kept it in our bathroom, just because we always wanted to read it while we were on the can. And like it was missing the cover, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
all like crinkled from moisture from keeping it in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Moisture.
I went and got Walt to sign that ruined copy of mine.
Damn, you contaminated Walt. Damn. All right, I'm almost found it. Going back through my... Here we go. Okay. Airdrop.
Are you
X.
airdropping something?
Yeah, I'm airdropping it. Oh shit. Fuck. I sent it again. Okay. I'm gonna open it in my browser so everyone can see what I'm talking about. Uh, oh. How come this is not... I'm still like so lethargic from that marathon session. It was grueling. Okay. And Marcello Maiolo, he's the guy that... Marcello is a master. Marcello and I have been working together since Demon Knights at DC. Um, so he and I, he did the color and he rendered the page. It's amazing. So Let me find the original Cockrum page, Len Cockrum. But this was basically the issue that Professor X. There was a previous X-Men, with like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Angel, and am I missing someone else?
Beast, Angel, Jean Grey, Cyclops. No, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then I don't know what happened before, but then basically Professor X goes to recruit. Um,
He went international.
yeah, he went international. He so the page that I got, they asked me which page I wanted to draw. They had already, I think, assigned a bunch of other artists. Initially, this was like right when I started drawing Children of the Atom, and so of the remaining pages, the first appearance of Sunfire, I thought I would like to draw this page because there's some stuff in it that, oh, here it is. All right. Is anybody interested in listening to this stuff?
So when you drew all those scales on Sunfire, did you actually pencil them or just go straight to ink?
I penciled, I think, let me see.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So this is the
How
rough
long does it
pencil
take
on
you
the
to
back.
get this layout and pencils done?
This might take a few hours.
So you could have done this in your 5 hour Twitch.
No, because this is a few hours of me not talking and thinking. It would probably take longer. So this is the original page. You guys can see it's a pretty standard layout. I mean, when did this come out? 1975? I think this book came out in 1975. Yojimbo, no, yes, Japanese superheroes are not banned like cars. Only cars. Cars because it's a major purchase, right? Next to a house, like a car is the second most expensive thing you're going to ever purchase. So it was a financial, what do you call it? Embargo? Not embargo. Okay. All right, so the top tier is the conclusion of the storm sequence from the page or two before that. And then this page, they cram in fucking Sunfire in like 2 panels, right? And then the last 2 panels is the beginning of the Colossus. So I felt like is kind of stereotypical Asian Japanese architecture, and like that sign in the background, like between that sign between
That
Professor.
scroll art.
Yeah, that's like that's not even like that's like gibberish, right? So I mean, nothing against Dave Cockrum, it's just that doesn't look anything like authentic. And then like you look at the pagoda in the background, like that's not, authentic Japanese architecture. So, granted, back in 1975, there's no internet. You got to go, to the library unless you have a huge reference file. So, yeah, there's no excuse today because if you're an artist today, you basically, if you have a phone or cable or internet, you can instantly find the proper reference to match. Also, Sunfire's outfit, has the rising sun emblem kind of, and that was kind of like, it's a little touchy. So, so I thought I should give it a little bit of a better, at least the first time you see Sunfire, give him a little bit of a better representation. Right. This was the actual piece colored by Marcello. You can see this guy knows what he's doing. So we wrap up the storm sequence. Of course, she's topless. Right. I guess, yeah. I didn't want to change up too much because I didn't know what the guy drew before, the artist on the page before. But basically, Professor X is sitting there talking. I'm not too happy with this face of Professor X, but whatever. Storm, I think when she has her powers, her pupils are gone, but then now that you can see the rains begin to subside. There's also in the background, you can see like I drew a digital tree in the background. Like one of those trees that you see in the plains in Africa.
That's a nice tree.
Hey, Michael Velasquez is on. Is this the same Michael Velasquez that we know?
I did put it on Facebook today, so maybe.
Oh, wow.
A couple people said they were going to jump on.
Nice. Hey, Michael, how you doing? B-Dub is here. CJ. If I missed you guys texting. So then, again, the thing that I was battling in this is that is there enough? Well, okay, going back to the scales, you can see like I did kind of like a ribbing. I did some of the scales in the back, but not all of it. You know, just enough for like an indicator. And then the rest, once I started drawing, especially on the arms, if I just started drawing, drawing the scales in. I might have done a light pencil. And then, because like in the original art, in the original version by Cockrum, there was it looked like what was an indicator of scales. But then, I mean, these guys are working on this stuff at such rapid speed that also the style back then was a different style. Like now, contemporary comic book art is so detail oriented at times. But I also wanted to put them in a like a more traditional Japanese house or villa with the tile. This was like a blue tile. Looked up like traditional, like there's different like tile grooves and patterns in Japanese architecture. Also the thing with the T, because they didn't have room to fit it in. Like this is Professor X up top. And then you see his reflection in the tea. They usually serve like with matcha tea, they serve like a little, what do they serve? Like that's a little toothpick for like a little mochi ball or something, like something sweet, because I think like matcha is like kind of bitter. And that's like a traditional iron cast teapot. And they're both sitting down, and then the waitress or the server leaves, and then we reestablish that that's Professor X with the tea setup from before, and then we jump. The last two are pretty much standard to the next page. I think Aaron Cooter or Cooter.
I like Cooter.
Yeah, he drew the following page, which is the when Colossus turns into Metallic Colossus to save his little sister Ileana, also of New Mutants fame. So, and then the tractor, I kind of followed a little bit. I kind of made it a little bit more, I don't know. I used the top. I looked up some reference of a tractor. Let's see what they had done. This is the colored version. Marcello's colored version. Cockrum had like this tractor with all these rivets on it. It looked more like a locomotive, but it was like a grain thing, where you can kind of see like the grain, shooting the grain. So I tried to keep. The only difference is that here Colossus has the pitchfork up, like he's raising it, and I felt like that's too much of like a battle position,
Yeah, it looks a little aggressive.
right? And he's supposed to be like mining the farm, so I thought, all right, he should be like digging up shit, and then so I kept the grain thing in the back. You can kind of see that behind my head. And then the guy on the tractor is like, "Hey, watch out! Your sister." So, and then down here too, like my favorite part is the fish, the goldfish in the pond, in the lily pads. Although I probably should have drawn more lily pads. Anyways, Marcello did a
Oh, hey,
huh?
I was just gonna say, if Michael Vasquez is actually still on this thing, it's pretty cool that he joined us because he just got his film
Oh
that he
yeah,
produced.
right.
It's just got entered into some. It's getting released
He,
in all the film festivals now, so that's pretty
they
exciting.
just sold it. Congratulations, Michael. Michael
Yeah,
too. Also, ka-ching, ka-ching.
yeah, more money being spread.
Damn. Michael has a movie called The Paper Tigers, right?
Yeah.
Paper Tigers. Is there a link, Mike? Type it in the chat box. Um, they just got a distribution deal with the company is called. It's like a. Anyways, it's the same company that did Train to Busan and Ip Man. The same distributor that did the Ip Man. Paper Tigers. There you go. Look at that, Yojimbo. Oh, Jerry, yours not coming up. So you gotta like type it out separately.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think you have mod credentials. I should change that. I should give you mod credentials. Um, but yeah, excited. It was a Kickstarter. I also did like two sketches for the Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, I think I did some for it too.
Yeah,
God, that's so long ago. I
yeah.
don't remember.
I thought I contributed to the Kickstarter, and didn't we get promised the free viewing of the movie? Like online screening? I don't know. There you go. Is it a comedy? Is it a comedy?
A kung fu comedy?
Is it a kung fu comedy, or is it like a
I know very, very little about this film. I just know I did some drawings for it, and I think I even donated some shirts for them to
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
make some
you
money.
did a lot of stuff for it. Anyways, this is the giant size X-Men. I was adamant that the roof, the tile roof, needed to be blue, not yellow. You know, again, authenticity. Uh, and look at the rendering that Marcello did on is it Shiro Yoshida. Anyways,
Oh yeah, that's C.V. Cebulski's name.
no, I think he's
He was
another.
Akira Yoshida.
No comment from me. Anyways, I like the tree in the background. That's another thing I like. That I drew in Photoshop after I scanned in the piece. Oh, Shiro means white? Hmm. And this is the original. See, like in the original, like, look at the page, like, I mean, you can kind of see it, but really, like, you're looking at Storm's face. There's a triangle. I mean, look at it. Was that a golden triangle in terms of design? Your eye goes up to the middle, the second panel with Storm, and then because of the red of Sunfire and then the red pants of Colossus, you're kind of bouncing back and forth. Um, anyways, all right. Sean hasn't typed anything in yet, huh? Okay.
So what are you going to be drawing tonight, Bernard?
Melvin Gordon just broke a big one for a TD.
What are you going to be drawing tonight, Bernard?
I don't know. I I wanted to do what you were suggesting, but again, I think I need to plan it out a little bit more, Cherry.
Yeah, sure, of course.
So I need to give it another couple of days of thought. At least the parameters. So let's come. What do you guys want me to draw tonight? Um, no more
How about
Storm
we start with
Shadow.
Marvel versus DC?
So like two characters or just one character?
No, like someone. What? Let's pick between Marvel and DC.
Oh, okay, all right. So we'll test
Why
out
don't we
this.
do Marvel?
We'll test out this polling thing then, right? If let me create a poll. Well, it doesn't have to be Marvel or DC. Wildstorm is still here. He's throwing in death blow.
Deathblow.
One of these days, he's gonna get death blow.
Well, why don't you draw a Deathblow?
No. I'm gonna draw death blow when. Hold on. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you.
All right. Hold on. Keep the masses entertained, Jerry.
Well, I wonder. Whenever I think of Bernard's work, I always think he is very dynamic and he is so witty. He always works so well just off the top of his head. So, whenever people ask me to draw something, I always think it helps to pick someone that's doing something pretty crazy.
Jerry, you don't have
Oh,
to.
God.
You don't have to talk good. Like you don't have to butter me up. You had me at hello, Jerry.
This is one of my single favorite comic of all time.
So look at this. This is not 9.8. There's a crease on the. There's a couple bent creases, so I'm a little disappointed. And there's a crease on the cover, but I know I probably have another one in the. I know I probably have another one or two in the long box. But this was $2. Number one. There was supposed to be a second one. Second Uncanny X-Men versus the New Teen Titans. This one was Chris Claremont, Walter Simonson, Terry Austin was the inker. And then there was going to be another one by a more DC team, DC creative team. This one was more Marvel creative team. But then I think by the time they were working on the second one, they had some major disagreements in terms of the plot, direction, and then it never got made. So, Mr.
The way
Joshua,
Walt drew Deathstroke made me think Deathstroke was the coolest character of all time.
and then this is a gatefold cover. So it's front and back. Look at this. So this was that pose I mentioned like a few streams ago, where like Dark Phoenix had her arms up like this. It was like, wow, that's so cool. All right. So expressive. And then you got everyone. You got Cyclops Robin. This is the Tim Drake Robin, I think, right? You guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
Isn't that Dick Grayson?
This Dick Grayson? Did I just say Dick
I think
Grayson
so.
or Tim Drake?
You said Tim Drake.
Tim Drake? Oh. We'll see, I guess. Well, I have to read this again. And then you got the rest of the gang. Wolverine. I think the one thing I was disappointed because I was a big Wolverine fan was that he was so far in the back on this one. But like whatever, right? And then Darkseid. In my memory, like she was a lot bigger, but and then Professor X is in the middle. It's Kid Flash, Kitty Pryde, Beast Boy, Cyborg, Raven. All your favorite original X-Men. Yeah. There you go. There's Deathstroke.
When he was sitting on that chair and he flings the disc, oh man, he's so cool.
When was that? Was that?
He was like smoking a cigar or something like that.
Was that
Jeez.
early on. Oh, right here. This one. It's like, or later on. Let me see.
Yeah, there he goes.
Here, he's flinging some discs.
So cool, man.
I think your style is very much influenced by Walter Simonson.
Yeah, I mean, I love Walt growing
He's
up.
a
So
very-
it was so cool that, I got to learn from him in school.
He's a very graphic designer element to it. So people are throwing up suggestions. Grendel Prime, Shadowhawk, Silk Spectre, Nightcrawler, Ms. Marvel, Matthew Crossart, 2 months. Thank you, Matthew Crossart. Thank you for the sub. Roy Batty wants Magnus Robot Fighter. That's only if Jim Chung jumps on. Maybe I'll draw, but Jim is cooking dinner right now.
Is Jim a big Magnus Robot Fighter fan?
Well, Jim had done that Magnus Robot Fighter envelope for Wizard Magazine. We showed that, I think, last time. Your Jimbo found it. Jim Chung, before he became a pro, he won Wizard, envelope contest.
Yeah, I remember those.
So those things do work. Those contests. Let's see who else. Somebody said monsters because it's October. Mr. Joshua. Maybe when it gets closer to Halloween, we'll do like the generic monsters and sexy nurse, sexy / whatever regular plain boring occupation. Sears model girl, too woke to toke. Look at that. He's sharp today, too woke. Sears model girl. I wonder if anybody has a Sears catalog, like
No way.
in the garage. Those things were like bricks. They're like awesome doorstops. Yojimbo says Jeff Matsuda and Ryan Benjamin both won the envelope contest. Yojimbo says, Jerry, you don't read any of his posts.
I'm sorry, I'm just working on some Photoshop stuff right now.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen, mask off. Barry drew the frame of Deathstroke kicking Robin in the face in a high school sketchbook. But this was, I think I remember this scene here, where Deathstroke is fighting Colossus, and then he flips him. Oh, look at this. What's happening here? Oh. This book is coming apart. Paper. There's no staple on this? Oh. There's a staple down here, but...
You should get Walt to sign this copy, too.
Well, it's not sticking together like yours. And then someone else on the last stream, I didn't catch it last time, but someone said that they had that they took the covers off their comics because it stacked up better when they were a kid. Who was that? They took the covers off their G.I. Joe comics because it stacked up better.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, and this page also, of course. Now they're all like friendly.
I always thought that drawing of Wolverine with his arms crossed was just so freaking good.
Yeah.
And it always bothered me on Colossus, that blue ink on his cheek that made him look like he had Elvis sideburns.
That one right there.
That kind of bothered me.
Did that put you in a fit of rage?
It did, actually.
Did you ever ask Walt, like, what were you thinking, man? What were you thinking? Yeah.
So the splash page of right here of Lockheed, huge. I've seen that original at Walt's house.
Oh, really?
The original it's bigger than a regular comic page, so it's like 20 by 30 or something like that. It's fantastic.
Wow. Walt very rarely sells his artwork, huh?
Yeah, almost never.
Yeah. I actually ended up I put up that giant size X-Men page, and it ended up selling this morning. I posted it this morning and ended up selling.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I feel like maybe I should have listed it for a higher price. Sometimes I regret selling stuff, but then other times I like try not to get. I remember this pose too, where she's like her shoulders are back.
And when Cyclops gets the Phoenix thing, and he's like a silhouette,
There we
like
go.
on the
This
next
one.
page or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. There you go.
It's so cool.
I wonder what the pencils look like versus the inks. Because this one, it looks like towards the end there, it's definitely being simplified a little bit. But also, I guess because of the story, it's getting a more graphic kind of treatment. I mean, there's even Zipatone.
Yojimbo, no, Walt does not plan on having a Viking funeral with his art. He's told me he just wants to hold on to them because he's never had the need to sell them, and he's just kind of holding them for a rainy day. And it's cool, like he loves art. He loves keeping his originals.
Yeah.
It's his house is like a freaking comic museum. It's awesome.
Like when I first started drawing, I never sold any artwork. Like during the Valiant days, I never sold any artwork. And then I started going to these conventions and hanging out with these guys. And I was okay. I'll sell some stuff sitting around in a folder somewhere. Maybe it'll find a good home. Crispy Papa says X23. Should we reveal the thing? I can't draw X23 today.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just say it here first. So if these guys want to get a head start,
Yeah.
So you guys don't have to jump onto Instagram to see on Monday. Our Battle of the Sketch topic for next Wednesday is going to be X23. So you guys get to hear it first.
Yeah. So if you want to start prepping, you can guys start doing X20. But you can't. There's an embargo. You can't post your X23 sketches until Wednesday. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be drawing X23 next Tuesday on Tuesday's stream. C. Jean says King Kong. Too Woke says Kitty Pryde.
How about Archangel?
Archangel.
Since we're talking about Walt.
Yeah, Walt drew also X Factor. X Factor #1, right?
I don't think he did #1.
He didn't do #1? Bob McLeod did #1?
I think he came on a couple issues afterwards. Yojimbo would know, I bet.
John Wick, Raven, Sabretooth, Morbius, Man-Bat, Psylocke, Abomination, Bride of Frankenstein. Matthew Crossart is really pushing this Monsters Halloween theme. We're like 30 days away, 29 days away from Halloween. I will promise to do some Halloween stuff, but maybe as we get closer. Killer Croc, Lobo, Angel from Spawn. Yojimbo started picking up X Factor because of Walt's art. I remember like Sienkiewicz was drawing New Mutants. Those were like amazing. And then,
yeah.
Oh no. It was Bob Layden. Bob Layden, I think, was drawing X Factor. I think Bob Layden and Bob McLeod did the first few issues of X Factor. And then Simonson came on, I think.
And then he did the Fall of the Mutants, which was freaking mind-blowing.
And then then he started drawing Thor, right? And then he drew the Beta Ray Thor and the Frog Thor. There was that big iconic cover where the frog slamming the hammer down. Let's try to create a poll. Let me create a poll. I can do top 5 art suggestions. We are 1 hour in, so we've gone through our first hour of procrastination. So now we can start drawing. If we can manage to get that hour of procrastination, narrow that down, I think we can really get the stream back in track. So, sketch, draw. I'm just gonna write draw. Draw what? What's the first? Hey, there's Jim Chung. Butch Geis. Butch. Is it Butch Geis started X Factor, or is it Butch Juice? How do you pronounce his name? There was that list of how to pronounce creators circulating on Twitter earlier in the week. Butch
I like
Juice.
juice.
Butch Juice. Butch Geis. Geese. Guise. Guise. Is it Guise?
Juice. Let's go with juice.
So Jim is lurking.
Is he going to come on?
He might come on if you leave. He said he doesn't. Okay. He didn't like you that much, Jim.
I got it.
Jim didn't like Jerry that much. I mean, he can jump on any time on the Discord. B-dub. Okay. Well, let's see. What are Too Woke wants me to draw Tom Brady. Anybody else? Okay, so what is the first Archangel? That's
Deathblow.
Okay, I will throw Deathblow on there. If Wildstorm is here. Okay, I'll throw Archangel. Deathblow. Who else? Jim worked with Butch at CrossGen. It's Geis. Like Geis. Like ice. Geis.
I think it's like juice.
Yeah, let's just say juice. Just like we say Long Woo instead of Long Was here, it's Long Woo. Yosagi Yojimbo. Man-Bat Mystique. There was something earlier. Long Woo says New Superman. Who has the biggest slice? Let me look up. Whoever has the biggest slice, I'll take one of your suggestions, because then you have a higher chance of winning tonight.
I hope it's Deathblow.
Oh, by the way, speaking of clothing, you guys were talking about clothing earlier. Would anybody want this? I'm giving away t-shirts on the stream now instead of artwork. This is
all we see is white.
2002 Madden Challenge competitor. National Madden Challenge 2002. It's a brand new shirt. I've never worn it. It doesn't have the tags, but it's an XL. And short sleeve shirt. There is nothing. Oh, there's something on the back. On the back is the bigger 2002. Oh, and it has a list of. Hold on. Got all this shit on my table. I also did something. I hooked up my PS3 to my TV upstairs, so I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. And it has a list. It has a list of all the cities: San Francisco, Los Angeles. I participated in the Madden Challenge at the mall. They gave us this shirt. I had my guy beat, but I was very cocky, and he blocked my extra point attempt because I didn't know he could like time the people that I played against didn't know the trick about timing the kick to block the kick, so he blocked my extra point and he ended up winning. So does anybody want this shirt? It's vintage 2002 and it's brand new. Again, I haven't worn it. There's no tags. It's an XL.
I only want it if you wore it
I'm giving
and
away
didn't
like
wash it.
my old clothes. I don't think anybody here plays Madden. Um, oh, what am I doing?
I say you give it to Jim.
Jim Chung?
Yeah, he can cook in it.
That's an XL. That would be like that's like a rain poncho for Jim.
It's like a boyfriend T-shirt for him.
There's no DNA from me or the X. Okay, so let's see. We got 3 people: Way, Crispy Egg Roll, Wildstorm. They have 10. D Rogers has 11. So D Rogers, throw me a who would you like to see draw, a character you like to see drawn today? Is D Rogers here? Yeah, Lurky Lurker won the Frank Cho T-shirt. He actually won the Storm Shadow sketch, but then he traded with Kevin P. West. Kevin P. West won the shirt. They traded. So, Lurker, do you want the Madden shirt? I can throw it in the same package. You get like 2 shirts. It's a XL Fruit of a Loom. 2002. So, how old is that? Fuck, that's like 18 years old. That shirt. Never worn. I never wore it. It just sat folded in the closet. I think it has been washed though. Yeah. D. Rogers is not here. All right, no mercy. Okay, all right. That's your. I just gave away another shirt. Lurky Lurker got the Madden shirt. Yeah. Okay. Barry says Firestorm. Okay. Let me add Firestorm. So, okay, the other 3 people. Let's see. Way. You want a suggestion, Way? I already put Death Blow for Wildstorm. Crispy Egg Roll's not here, but he has the next largest slice. The next largest after that, Shoe Thief, James Quo, both have 8. I mean, all of these are going to go up one more tonight, too. And Yojimbo, why don't you throw? You got 9. So, Yojimbo, why don't you throw me a suggestion for the poll? Who would you like to see draw today? Also, because, you toughed it out the other day. We even became too much for Yojimbo on Tuesday night. He was like, fuck this. Exactly, Lurker. Come on here for all your artwork and clothing needs. I mean, pretty soon I'm going to find some underwear. I'll give that stuff away, too. That definitely... no, actually, I still have some new underwear. Do you know what's a good sign? Do you know, what's a sign that the economy is going up or down? Jerry?
What is that?
During when they were able to during the last recession, like 08, 06, 08, 010, the marker they were using to indicate that the economy is actually going up or getting better was sales of underwear.
Really?
Yeah, because that's like the last thing people buy is underwear, right? You just wear your underwear. I mean, it's like underneath your clothes. No one's gonna see that. So when
I buy underwear quite frequently.
When sales of underwear sees a rapid rise, that means people have expendable income and buy underwear.
So you're saying Sean has tons of underwear?
Well, yeah. Well, no. Sean's commando. He's a freak. Sean's a freak. He's commando. Yojimbo, you gotta... I think maybe Yojimbo fell asleep. Is Way gonna give up any... Mr. Joshua says Oracle the Great and Cringer. I have no idea who that is.
Oh, that's from He-Man.
Oh, the dude with the red. Uh,
Yeah, the little wizard guy.
if I were to draw that, I'd rather draw Snarf. I'm gonna throw in Snarf. Snarf.
I always hated Snarf.
I might draw a realistic version of Snarf. Snarf. Does he only say Snarf, or does he? Oh no, he says lie now, right? Okay.
He talks. Yeah, he says stuff. He's just useless.
Snarf. And by the way, I looked up those Tweaky toys, like brand new. Guess how much they are on eBay?
$2.
Brand new in the box, up to $500.
What? Who the hell wants
And
a Twiggy
the
toy?
cheapest was like 250, 300 for a Tweaky. In the box. Like if it's out of the box, it's like maybe like 50, $75. That's still pretty expensive, right? $50. And then a lot of the Buck Rogers toys were like pretty expensive. And then I saw they had the Starfighter. I had one of those too. I had a lot of toys. I was very spoiled. Um, but I had I had the Starfighter, the jet that they would sit in. That was fucking amazing. That's like one of the coolest designs of a spacecraft, I think. Because
I never even knew these toys existed.
they had like the twin guns. Well, you couldn't fit the Starfighter inside your jacket.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, but Tweaky you could have fit. Tweaky was real small. I mean, the packaging is the same. Any other suggestions? So far, I only have 3: Archangel, Deathblow, and Snarf. I'm not getting too many more suggestions. What about Jim or Sean? You guys have any suggestions you would like to see? Jerry, you said Archangel.
Yeah.
Wildstorm SSG said Deathblow. Iceman. I did an Iceman earlier. Steve Urkel. Trying to stay away from like real life people. Green Goblin. Too Woke, Too Toke is still rooting for the Sears girl. Ooh la la, hubba hubba. Thunder. Thunder. Oogla. I'd rather draw Oogla. What was
Savage
Oogla?
Dragon would be fun.
Savage Dragon. Yeah, I'll put it up, and then I need one more character. Come on, one more.
Let's get a female.
Yeah, let's get a female. Savage Dragon. I hope Savage Dragon doesn't win. Ookla. Next time I'm gonna find my Alex Toth design book. And show all the designs that he did for these shows, like Space Ghost.
He's so good.
Not Venture Brothers, Johnny Quest, and Thundar the Barbarian. Black Canary, She-Hulk, Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, Bleeze the Red Lantern, General Grievous, Power Girl. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do like a standard headshot today. Not gonna get into that fucking Storm Shadow rabbit hole like last time. We're an hour and 30 minutes in. This procrastination thing is getting longer and longer.
So if it's gonna be a headshot, I'm going to change my pick.
Okay. Well, maybe like up from the chest up.
I'm going to go with Triclops from Masters of the Universe.
I don't know Triclops.
The guy with the green helmet with like the 3 eyes.
He had 3 eyes?
Oh, okay, forget it then. Or 1 eye, excuse me, 1 eye. I think.
No. Sorry. I'm sticking with the Archangel. What about Tweaky? Snarf and Tweaky. I should change. I'm gonna swap out Savage Dragon. Let's just do all fucking sidekicks. Fuck Savage Dragon. We'll do a Tweaky. Beady 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 beady. What's up, Buck? Tweaky is basically his head is like a penis. You ever notice that? Like his
Yes,
helmet?
it is.
I mean, that should be easy. Too woke to toke, says Golf Boy's sister. Golf Boy, I don't know if I would take that if I were you. Was your sister a model for Sears Roebuck's catalog? I already drew, and I already drew her as the Wonder Woman from before. Yeah. Twiggy, Pandemos. Good to see you. Pandemos says if I drew Twiki, it would be against Twitch toss. Twitch terms of service, really?
It is?
I don't know. What is this thing that Yojimbo? You get to have since you have the next largest slice. You get to suggest a character you would like to see drawn, and then we're gonna add that to the poll. Oh, there it is. I've never seen this character before.
Oh, you can't say penis. So Twiggy.
Oh, sorry. You can't say it. It's a medical term. Well, it only looks like the head of the phallic symbol if you're drawing it from like a back or 3/4. I mean, I could draw Tweaky coming out, Tweaky, beady, coming out of Crewman Ma's rear end. Yeah, pen 15. We'll just say pen 15.
Penis.
Pen 15.
Penis.
Jerry, this is forever. That's on the internet. Yojimbo wants Kato from like Green Hornet. Kato. Are you sure that's your choice? Beady. I got an oil leak, Buck. He always has like a zinger, like a one-liner, right? Tweaky. Beady. I don't know about that, Buck. Hey, it's just some dude. Oh, is that James? Thanks, James. Thanks for the sub. And Matthew Crossart, if I haven't mentioned it before, I did. Assy McGee. So, Yojimbo, what is your choice? Is it really Kato? Sidekicks, yeah. Okay. I will throw down. Well, I mean, Yojimbo, you can draw anything. You can suggest anything you want. It doesn't have to be limited to a sidekick. I was just throwing out sidekicks, so I didn't want to draw Savage Dragon today. Nothing against Savage Dragon, just didn't want to draw him today. We should call it GG, double G's. Right? That's how you say pen 15 in Mandarin. GG. Or is it that's the when you're a kid they call it GG. So Yojimbo says Green Goblin. Okay, that's not bad. All right. Okay, Green Goblin.
Are you going to draw the James Franco version in the armor?
We'll see. How long should let's see, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 3-minute poll. You can, I'm allowing additional votes, bits, and channel points. Okay, start poll. Here we go. Let me pull up the screen here. Draw what you can vote, Jerry, too, if you want. So far, Deathblow is winning with 7.
I'm voting for Deathblow.
Wildstorm is like, where are all my channel bits? Come to me, channel bits. Right into 1. Wow, Deathblow is 42 votes. Holy cow, 65 votes. It's like a blowout. Deathblow is like LeBron of the stream. Come on. You know they only won because all 3 guys were hurt from the Heat. The Heat were up plus 17 with when they had Jimmy Butler, Bam, and the Dragon on the court. Yeah, but you can vote additionally with bits or channel points. Because the last ones too, they were like 1,000 something. There's no Savage Dragon. I took him out. I put in Tweaky. Nobody wants Tweaky. I mean, you guys are like so adamant about like Pen 15 that not even one vote. Okay, there's one vote for Tweaky. I'm gonna vote for Tweaky. Yeah, I voted for Tweaky. Now there's 2 votes for Tweaky. Gosh. Well, it looks like Deathblow is running away. Unless someone... Snarf! Snarf is coming up. Snarf is coming up. It's 37 to 27. Snarf is coming up. Snarf! Deathblow. I don't even... What does Deathblow look like? Deathblow was the black and white book, right? Where...
It was like a lot of gray tones with some green hues. I think he's got the red stripes on his eyes or something like that. Like one stripe going vertically down each eye.
Oh, right. Okay. With the bandana, like a head bandana or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. Basically, you just gotta have him showing, like, holding a gun with lots of bullets.
Michael Velasquez asks if I buy bits or channel points or whatever does it take to go directly to Bernard? Or does some of it go to the man? I believe like I don't know how the system works. Like if you sub, like usually subs are like what, $4 or $5. I think I get half of that, and bits.
Damn.
I think the same thing.
Michael's throwing some cash around because of that movie deal,
Yeah,
baby.
shit, it's the last time we're gonna see him. So that's exciting. Mike's got a Snarf. Wait, Snarf just got a huge boost. Snarf. Snarf is in the lead. The poll
What?
ended. Snarf. B-Dub threw in 392 channel points. You can also use channel points, which are free. I think you accumulate that. I don't think anybody used bits. At least I don't know. I can't tell.
Maybe Cash Money Michael Velasquez did.
Wow, Snarf edged out Green Goblin. Edged out Deathblow. Deathblow had the early lead.
Damn.
But
I
then
voted for Deathblow.
Deathblow took his foot off the pedal. And the Green Goblin...
He got cocky, and then he had his extra point blocked.
And Snarf came in at the end. So Snarf with 430 votes. Green Goblin with 403 votes. Deathblow with 337. He kind of stuck at 300. Once Deathblow had the people's vote. Yes. Deathblow was up at 300 and then boom, that was it. He kind of plateaued. All right, Snarf it is. Snarf.
I can't believe you're going to be trying Snarf.
What the fuck does Snarf look like again? He's like
I
orange.
don't even know.
I just like
he's like a big guinea pig or something like that.
He looks like Tommy Lee Edwards. Snarf.
Yes, he does.
Look at this. Snarf looks like Tommy Lee Edwards. Let's pull up a picture of Tommy Lee Edwards. And Snarf. This is Snarf. And then you tell me. I look at that and I see Tommy Lee Edwards. Right? I mean.
Can you show Tommy Lee now?
Yeah. Let me click on a. Right. Look at that Snarf. Snarf. Okay. Wait. Let me move this so you guys can see. That's Snarf. How do I
That looks so much like Tommy.
Right? Doesn't that look like Tommy Lee Edwards? If you guys know Tommy Lee Edwards, he's part of the, was part of the Boulevard.
He's an amazing artist.
He is.
And he's a funny ass guy.
Great guy. Here we go. Tommy Lee Edwards, American illustrator.
Oh, Alf would have been pretty good.
Yeah, we should have done a whole like furry sidekicks thing.
Look at Tommy.
There's Tommy. Look at that. You telling me that doesn't look like Snarf? That's Snarf right there. That's Snarf. Let me go back and forth. Look at that. Snarf! Tommy! I mean, it's the same colors, too. Look at that. Holy shit. This is like fucking Kismet. Look at that. Alright. Do we want to do a second poll? Is it Alf versus Snarf? Alf wasn't... no. Okay. Let's just do Snarf. What's Snarf doing?
Enough procrastinating.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm going to procrastinate for like 2 hours. And then it's going to be another 5-hour marathon. I've noticed that each stream gets longer and longer. Let me get rid of this window. But what was Schnarf's...
Memorable moments?
yeah.
I would think he was probably the chef. I would think. He's probably the gatherer of the group.
The hunter-gatherer. What if... what, I was thinking, like, what if Schnarf was, like, taking a little puff?
Yeah, I think he's a drinker too. He looks like a whiskey man.
He looks like a whiskey man, or does he look like a puff guy? Ooh, Michael,
Well,
thank you for the sub.
I'll keep away from the puff, huh?
Oh, yeah? Okay.
This is a family channel, man.
Well, it's legal now. I mean, drinking is... it's as legal as drinking. Snarf.
Michael says he just said snarf after everything.
Snarf.
Was he really Lionel's nanny?
He was? I think so.
Was that his actual job?
So did he like did the Lionel suckle? Is that what did you say, like suckle? Like drink from his breastises? Like how many nipples? Is Snarf a male?
Yeah, he's a dude, right?
Snarf. I should just draw Tommy Lee Edwards and then say it's Snarf.
Yes. Give Tommy Lee Edwards a tail.
He says such cute eyes.
I can tell a lot of people are gonna want to win a drawing with Tommy Lee Edwards.
Where is Sue Lee to take one for the team tonight? Right? Everyone's like, hey, better DM Sue Lee, tell her to get on stream so she can win this one. I'm gonna do Snarf like he's hungover. With a...
like the eyes. The sleepy eyes.
You see the sleepy eyes?
Yeah.
He's like
the sleepy eyes always reminds me actually of Michael Velasquez.
I remember I took a picture once with Michael Velasquez. We were at his house, and I don't know how it came up, but we realized that we were wearing the same kind of underwear.
Yes, I have that picture.
And then we took off our pants and we did a Wonder Twins Powers Activate with the tip over Pen 15.
And then Michael went on to take, like, he hung out in just his underwear for like another hour while we were drinking.
Right. I mean, there were women there too, though. It wasn't just dudes. But did Snarf ever go on the battles? Did he ever like drive the Thundercats?
I think he was just drinking and fooling around with all the women.
Oh, the Snarf fooled around with women? Like
I believe so.
Like other really? Snarf was like a player. By the way, did you see the Instagram live of my birds of Beavis?
Michael wants to know how he can post that picture in the chat.
Where is the picture? You got go on Discord and then you can post it on Discord, and then we can click the link on Discord. People can see it.
Wait a minute. Long was here. You're telling me that Snarf hooked up with chicks on this robot chicken cartoon?
Snarf is like, yeah, he's like one of those. If he was like an actor, he's like. Snarf. This is like a Tommy Lee pose too. Look at this. I mean, where's Tom? Maybe we get Tommy on next time, and then you guys would be like, "What? 2 Snarf episodes in a row, back to back?" TOS, TOS, toss. Look at this. By the way, speaking of TOS, look what I found. America Online, 700 hours free. Kids, when back in the day, to sign onto the internet, you had to either have CompuServe or America Online, AOL. This has been a coaster. Sean actually still has an AOL email.
So does Walt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Snarf. Would Snarf's like beard be like so crusty from a night of drinking that it would be like dreads?
Oh, Jay Lee, that guy. He owes me a commission from over a year now.
What happened with Jay? Jay
I
Lee
don't know.
has an AOL email?
Yeah, you know, his commission thing has kind of put me in a bad mood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Just randomly, I was like, oh, you know what? I think I want to get a Jay Lee commission, and
What
then
did,
I actually paid for it in advance. That was over a year ago.
what did you want commission wise? What did you
I don't
get?
even remember.
You should talk to Sean. Sean and Jay are good buddies.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I have a feeling I just lost $600.
Damn. How big was the commission?
I don't even remember, honestly. It's been so long, I just don't remember.
Yeah, Jay's a cool guy though. He's probably just backed up.
I don't know, your Jimbo. I actually asked him for the money before, and then he told me he was going to do the drawing in 2 weeks. That was like 3 months ago.
All right, I'm gonna have him like.
I don't think Jay Lee knows Tommy Lee, so he didn't want to draw Snarf.
Yeah, you should have had a Snarf drawing. Snarf. I drew his head too big. I drew Snarf's head too big.
Is that, are you going to be drawing like his arms or anything?
Yeah, this is his
Maybe he
arm.
could be drinking from a Lion-O's sword.
Oh, like
Like the boot, but using it as, you know.
right. No, I already have him. Cause he's like kind of hungover. I should have him on the sink. That would be more personable.
Oh, like when you threw up in my sink?
Yeah, but I'm having him like leaning on the toilet with some chunks of throw up in his beard. Does Snarf have does he have like sharp teeth?
I don't think so. I think he was kind I don't think his arms were very big either. I
No?
thought, Didn't he have like little stubby arms, like he couldn't even like scratch the top of his head?
No, he could have. He had to. Didn't I
This
remember there
looks
was like an
just like
episode or two.
Tommy Lee.
Right? This doesn't look. It looks just like Tommy Lee, right? Damn, you should text him. Tell him to come on Discord. Tommy's got like bad internet because he's out in the boondocks. He's out in the sticks.
Is he on Discord? You want me to text him?
I don't think he's on Discord. No, I'm saying like he has like bad internet.
Uh,
Plus, it's like even in his studio, it's because he's out in the sticks. He's like where he lives in North Carolina. It's like
holy, it's already 12:30. Jeez
yeah,
Louise.
you gotta get going soon. I wish I had more room down here because then I would draw like some bottles and shit. I'm gonna draw a super small toilet.
Do you think Snarf could hook up with Hello Kitty?
I think.
Does he have that type of gain in
Oh,
him?
that's a good idea, man. Shit, you should have said that earlier. Good drawing Snarf hooking up with all the female cartoon cats. Tokidoki.
Karopi the frog.
You know how many likes this the sketch would get if we did a Snarf with hooking up with Hello Kitty.
Pokemon. Is Pokemon a girl?
No, Pokemon's a dude.
Oh, sorry.
There's another like character that's. I'm gonna give Snarf some muscles. You know, he's gonna have some.
Heathcliff's girlfriend, was that like Cleo or something like that?
Cleo.
Yeah, Pikachu. Oh, Pikachu, yeah. Pikachu must be a girl, right?
Pikachu. No, I think Pikachu is a dude. Isn't it Detective Pikachu? Or Pikachu
Oh yeah,
was.
it was Van Wilder.
Yeah, he turned into fucking Deadpool. Like I knew that. I was watching it and I was like, there's gonna be at some point you're gonna find out that he's really like the dude's son or something, whatever.
I never saw the movie, sorry.
It's not a bad movie though.
Cleo is Riff Raff, that's right. I love Riff Raff.
All right. I think we're good here. Let me see if there's anything else with the Snarf.
That looks so much like Tommy. Oh my god.
If I had room, I should have planned more. Like his tail would be like holding. What if his tail is holding his head up? Right? So his head doesn't fall into the toilet. You know how if you have like a friend that's like throwing up in the toilet, you're holding their hair back?
Yeah. So during this whole pandemic time, have you ever gotten like really drunk yet?
Me?
Yeah, I don't think so, right?
No. I mean, we've like drank on what, MSN, like Messenger,
Yeah.
but like not to the point where I'm like throwing
You
up.
never got smashed or anything, right?
No, I never like threw up in my own sink. Why?
I don't know. I was just trying to think. Like, I don't remember the last time I got like hammered.
But I do feel like my alcohol tolerance has gone up.
because we've been doing more casual drinking,
Yeah, because we've been drinking more often, but like not like the
just
point.
not pounding.
Right. Just not like shot, 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 shot.
I don't think I can do shots anymore. Getting too old.
Especially Jameson shots.
Yeah. But those are the most fun, you know?
Lurky Lurker says I nailed the expression. Thanks, Lurky Lurker.
Your Jimbo hasn't gotten hammered since March. Your Jimbo, we might have to jump onto a Zoom and get
Yeah.
you hammered again.
By the way, Yojimbo, you gonna come on? Is Yojimbo gonna come online? Is he gonna like chat with us? At some point, he got his mic. He found his mic. I never got the resolution to that.
Damn, Michael Velasquez is like angry tonight.
What's wrong with Michael? Damn.
Just cussing and everything.
Money does that to you, man.
Yeah.
Money and fame changes people.
Mr. Josh, which is your good tequila?
Don Julio, 1942.
I'm beginning to get into tequila more, like during this pandemic.
Really?
Yeah, because my younger brother likes tequila. He's a tequila guy.
What kind of tequila are you drinking?
I don't know. His my younger brother's wife bought like $300 bottles of tequila. I don't even know what they are, and we've been drinking it like every once in a while, just like a glass at a time, you know. And it's delicious, but it's like crazy expensive, you know.
The Don Julio 1942. That's 100, like 140, 150 at Costco. That's pretty good. That you can drink. I've never had Avion tequila.
It's just weird to me, you know. Like, I think I can only really enjoy tequila when I'm like at the beach or something, you know.
Really?
The Rock's Terramana tequila. The Rock has a tequila. Jeez,
Doesn't Michael Jordan have like a tequila or vodka?
Well, hopefully, me and Rich Ho will have our own Baijiu.
Oh yeah?
We're good. Yeah, we've been trying to make our own liquor.
Nice. You're like making it in the basement of your home?
No, I mean, we're there's a distillery that we're going to use here in Brooklyn, and but a friend of mine, he's one of the owners of Toki Soju,
Yeah.
which is like the best soju around. It's expensive though, and they have their own distillery in Korea. So he offered us, if we were really interested, to make some test barrels in Korea, which could be pretty fun, you know.
Mark Hampton, thank you for the follow. Mark Hampson. Mark Hampson. By the way, if you're watching, don't forget to hit that follow button wherever it is on screen, so you know when we're back on. Today's sketch is Snarf from Thundercats. Where did I put my pencil? I just put it down, and now it's disappeared.
$610 million for a gin company? Sweet Jesus.
Who paid what for what?
Pikachu, the guy Ryan Reynolds, he apparently, according to Jimbo, he sold his gin company for $610 million.
Oh yeah.
How much do you think you could sell your Twitch channel for, Bernard?
I think I have to pay somebody to take it. But it comes with the world's best moderator, Yojimbo.
And Sean's moving lips.
Sean's moving lips, and your
My blinking butt.
your blinking butt. Yeah, we need to get into the drink business. What are you gonna call your? Have you thought of a name for your
No idea.
Baijiu?
No idea. But it's just something that we've been talking about that we want to do.
Okay, here we go.
That was kind of pre-pandemic, though, you know.
Well, it should be. That should be pandemic proof.
Well, money's tight nowadays, you know.
Oh yeah.
Unless you're Mike Velasquez.
Unless you're Mike Velasquez, then it's more money, more problems.
Yeah. Yeah, you're Jimbo. I'll have to make Michael Velasquez get my liquor so that, you know, he can promote it for me.
All right, tonight I'm going to use this Stadler pencil for the dark. It's not as dark as the orange. Let me get the orange. Let me find another. Oh, I got another question for everyone. Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say, Jerry?
Are you looking for a new pencil or something?
No, I'm looking for the orange pencil, the one that you usually use to darken up the line with. Because it's new, so it has HB lead in it. I'm at that point where I'm also finding these old pencils, and I'm wondering if I should give these away. It still works. This one has a bunch of ink on it. I gotta clean it up. I gotta take off the. I used to wrap the handle with like this athletic tape, and now it's old and it's brittle, so I gotta take this off. Would people want this kind of stuff? Or should I just stick to like giving away old
Michael
clothes?
Velasquez is so angry.
You just spent $13 on Twitch. Why'd you spend $13 on Twitch?
Because he's unemployed and angry.
Why did he spend $13 on Twitch? The subscription should only be like $4 or $5. You should just give me $5, because otherwise, I get $2, $2.50.
Just come to your house and give you $5.
Yeah, I mean the gasoline itself. That's maybe like a gallon of gas, so that's like $4. Oh, here it is. Here's the orange. So I have 2 orange pencils. What is the difference between these two? There's no difference, right? Just the
0.5 versus 0.7, I believe, right?
no, they're both 0.5s. It's just the handle. One is
Oh, yeah, the
black.
one with the metal grip
Yeah.
is the Orange Pro.
Oh, okay. But it's the same model number. It should be the same. It's the same model number. PP.
Does it have that protective sleeve, the other one?
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same exact. Just
Michael Velasquez clicked on the diamond icon and it just robbed him of his money.
Actually, you know, Mike, if you have, here's the other thing I forgot to say. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe for free. If you have Amazon Prime, do you have Amazon Prime, Jerry? You should give me your subscription.
I use my older brother's Amazon Prime.
Yeah, because if you have Amazon Prime, they give you you can subscribe for free once a month. But you have to re-up every month. So.
Okay, I'll try to do something.
We haven't really made a push to get subscribers. I mean, it's cool. This lead is not as dark as the other. Oh, yeah. Let me start with the eyes. I gotta start up top. Man, we haven't heard from Sean tonight yet. Usually he'll chime in.
He's telling his sister about me.
Yeah. Jerry, you didn't listen to the past stream.
What happened to the past stream?
The thing with, should I tell people? Should I tell Jerry about Sean's sister? Or should I just?
Is she married?
No, she's single. I confirmed
Hubba
that.
hubba.
What do you guys think?
Sean is here. He's in the hizzy.
There's Sean. We shamed Sean out of the corner. Is
Sean, I can't wait for my blind date with your sister.
I think even once Jerry finds out, he'll still go out with her. I feel like I should tell you about Sean's sister. I told Sean, Sean can trust me with his sister. Do you know why Sean can trust me with his sister?
Uh-oh.
That nothing would ever happen.
I really don't know why.
Because Sean's sister is like a exact duplicate of Sean. Just a female version.
Yeah, then definitely bring it on, Sean.
I mean, she looks exactly like Sean.
With longer hair.
I don't know. Does she have longer hair now?
I'm going to tell her to cut her hair just like Sean then.
Oh, there you go. Have you ever dated anyone that looked just like their parents or their siblings? That once you met their siblings or their parents, you couldn't get that image out of your head?
No.
No?
Have you?
I think so. I want to say yes, because that would be hilarious. But I don't really remember. Snarf has like really long. Snarf has like really long eyelashes too, right?
You're snarfed.
If you're just joining us, we're drawing Snarf. This is Jerry Ma. Jerry Ma is also a professional comic book artist / designer / entrepreneur / restaurant owner / Janoff's Stationery. All the art supplies that you see tonight are provided by Janoff's Stationery. If you're in New York City and you want to support a mom and pop business and you're in the Upper West Side, hit up Janoff's.
Yeah, it'd be cool if some of you guys came by just to say what's up.
Yeah. You guys can stop by, say hello to Jerry. And you can also get like some Jerry's store, Janoff's, is half a block away from the Seinfeld delicatessen.
Diner, yeah, Tom's Diner.
Yeah, so you can it's like you kill two birds with one stone. Get a picture taken outside of Tom's Diner, then walk half a block down. There's a boba shop next to you guys too, right? I think.
Yeah, there is. Wow, you got a good memory.
And then get a picture with
There's
Jerry.
also that Coronet pizza, the giant slice. Yes, your Jimbo, like the Susan Vega song.
Coronet pizza.
Is Michael Velasquez drinking right now?
I think he is.
David, I think David Chun is on watching your Twitch right now. He says that we need to mention Panda Express, which is right by our store as well.
David's watching right now?
Yeah, David, what's your name on this thing?
Yeah.
So
also like Sean and Kadir's sister. Kadir's sister looks exactly like Kadir too. And they have like the same mannerisms. So if you were like behind them and you were to like watch them walk or do something, it would be like you think it was them.
David's got us in the background while he's playing video games with his friends.
Video
So
games.
yeah, David's a big gamer. Guys, if you guys are wondering who David is, it's a friend of mine. He's a writer. He writes this comic called Monkey and Peach. And he also came to Tokyo Comic Con with me and Bernard last year. And even though he is Korean, he is a fluent Japanese speaker,
This is
which he
amazing.
taught himself from freaking watching anime.
This is amazing. That's the most amazing part. Yeah.
Yeah, his Japanese is flawless too. It's really crazy.
Yeah. He taught himself Japanese by watching anime.
Like, and you know, like David is a really book smart guy, and I always call him. He's like the dumbest smart guy I'll ever know because he's super smart, but he does dumb shit. Um, but it's just unbelievable to me that he taught himself Japanese just by watching cartoons.
Yeah. Like, oh, maybe I should send you those. Maybe I should send David those DVDs that I found.
Oh, he would probably love them. Oh, Yojimbo, thanks for putting up that link. Because actually, David is currently working on the second issue of Monkey and Peach.
Thank you, Jimbo. Michael did say he was drinking. What is Michael drinking? Oh, something just happened. MMDI Lou. Thank you for the follow. So if David plays a lot of video games, is he on Twitch a lot?
I have no idea. I'll ask him.
By the way,
He's so young.
any progress on the any progress on the Cliff Chang?
Oh, I didn't even ask him yet. Do you really want me to ask him?
We'll see.
He's got a kid, so I don't know if he can jump on this late.
Yeah.
But I'll ask him. I mean,
did Dave ever get anywhere with that girl that he went out on the date with?
you mean in Japan?
No, here in New York.
They did go on a date.
Yeah? Oh, yeah?
I will.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. He went on a coronavirus date, which is pretty
Wow.
cool. That's a pandemic date. I'm always impressed by people that go on pandemic dates. You know.
Nice. So how did it go?
I'll let him tell you that. I don't want to throw his garbage out
Okay,
into
all
the
right.
open. You know.
Yeah, it's on the internet now. It's forever. Wow, I'm impressed.
I mean, I guess it didn't go all that well if he's home playing video games with his buddies.
Or maybe maybe she's playing video games with him. Look at this. Are we
Tommy Lee.
are we breaking any terms of service?
By having a drunk Tommy Lee Edwards pose as Snarf.
Snarf.
Jimbo, I know there are girl gamers, but I don't know. David doesn't strike me as a guy that would be smart enough to get with the girl gamers.
That would be the hottest thing. Like,
That would be so cool.
yeah. Like, have you ever dated an artist, like a female artist?
Not really. I wish.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest I had to a date with a female artist is when me and Cliff used to have to share beds at San Diego for Comic Con.
Nice. And then, did you have candles? Was it a candlelit experience?
I remember there was this one time actually in San Diego, Michael Velasquez, was, that's back when he was coming to Comic-Con with us too.
Yeah.
And he got so drunk one night, he ended up just sleeping on all of our sneakers because they were soft. So he slept on the floor of our hotel room, just on top of the sneakers.
Way, I'm drawing Tommy Lee Edwards tonight,
AKA Snarf.
aka Snarf.
But this is like a bulked up version of Snarf.
Well, yeah, because he's resting on the toilet. I mean, when this is a Snarf actor. The Snarf outside of the Thundercats. So it's the real Snarf.
When he's just like, he's too tired from taking care of Lionel, so he's got to kick back.
Right.
What?
What's just happened?
Brian Yang just told me that Donald Trump has COVID, and so does his wife.
Wow.
That is fantastic news, everybody. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that's fantastic news. That's not cool.
We're trying not to get too political here.
Yeah. Donald's advisor, Hope.
Hope Hicks
wow.
Hope Hicks had it. She was exhibiting symptoms, and then she had been spending the whole week with him, and they were in Marine One.
So what does that mean for the? Oh, sorry, yeah, we shouldn't be talking about this for the debates, but
Well, I guess there's no debates. Everything has to be pushed off for at least a couple weeks.
I mean, if they push off the NFL, they gotta push off the debates, right?
They didn't push off. Oh, just those games, yeah.
This Snarf is really funny.
Because he has like regular human hands. He has like 4 fingers. Oh, Yojimbo says Donald is only under the watch. So was it confirmed? Because they were talking about, before I jumped on, they were like talking about everybody that was on Marine One with Hope Hicks, because she started exhibiting symptoms today. So you gotta figure it's 4 days. So she's been with him all week. I mean, Biden could have gotten it too, if they were at the debate together, right?
Yeah. Wow. It's confirmed, Yojimbo says.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's wild. I wonder, if Trump's going to use this to his advantage in some... sorry, yeah, let's not talk about politics.
Yeah. Let's talk about Snarf. Beady, beady, beady. And Tweaky. Beady, 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 beady. Whatever happened to Tweaky? Like...
Bernard, I don't mean to cut you off, but do you think you can add the eye of Thundera onto this toilet bowl somewhere?
Oh, well, would it be in the water container part, or would it be...
It could be on the top part, like where you flush it. Yeah,
right here?
Just like stick an eye there that's looking at him,
What is the eye of Thundera?
That's the eye that's on his sword, right?
I got Thundera. The eye of Thundera is the Thundercats.
Yeah, isn't that like their Lionel's sword thing?
Okay, it's like a cat eye thing. Okay. Gosh, that looks a lot like Tommy. I wonder. I wonder if I post it up. Like, should I write Snarf or should I just write Tommy Lee Edwards?
You should you should just send it to him, text him a picture of it, and be like, "Look, I drew you."
I channeled my memory of Tommy Lee Edwards. Snarf.
It looks so much like you.
What's the color I should add to this piece today?
Do you see what Sean just asked you?
What did Sean just ask me? I didn't see.
Do you think you stopped farting on stream because you're intermittent fasting?
Oh, uh, I have been less gaseous. I will admit that. But I've been I think a little bit less gaseous. I mean, there are still moments where I'm farting, but it's just very quiet. It's silent.
The silent killer.
Yeah. Or like, especially like when I step away from when I'm like grabbing stuff. Sometimes I'm doing that just to like, I got a big fart coming up.
That's when the birds coincidentally start chirping louder.
Yes. Yes. I mean, there's more embarrassing stories about my gastrointestinal system. I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should reveal that.
I think you should leave that with the politics.
I mean, you know about it. I've told you about it.
Yeah, but I've witnessed it far too often.
I mean, and stuff that's happened like in adult, as an adult. I mean, good thing we don't have like regular jobs. I should do a thing where like if people contribute enough bits, or we hit a particular subscription level, then I'll tell my gastrointestinal story. Denkoman, good to see you. And then we got who is it? Fat Cat Garbage and Driftwood. Wow, we got some new people on. Reagan Lodge, thank you. Ooh, Reagan Lodge. Wow, thank you for the raid. I just saw that. Sorry. Welcome to the stream, Reagan Lodge. My name is Bernard Chang, comic book artist, and we're joined by Jerry Ma, my co-host today, comic book artist slash designer slash entrepreneur slash youth klepto. Cloaked Soup. Hey yo, how you doing? Welcome to. We are drawing Snarf tonight from Thundercats. Oh, you guys remember Thundercats? I mean, there's a new version of Thundercats that's out right now. That looks like is it out? It looks like what's that other cartoon series that's very popular? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. I know they made a new one, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, has
I
anyone
think they
seen
made like a kiddie version?
Has
right?
anyone seen the new one? Is Snarf in it? Snarf was Lionel's nanny. So this is Snarf. Obviously had a night of partying with the other Thundercats. They were celebrating something. They were celebrating the mid-autumn.
They thought they'd beat Momoro again.
Yeah, they were celebrating the mid-autumn festival. Mid-autumn. By the way, have you eaten any mooncakes yet, Jerry?
I'm trying to lose some weight, you know.
Mooncakes are like extremely fattening.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so dense. If you guys know, it's the Mid-Autumn Festival, and what do people do when they celebrate?
Basically, just eat, right? Like,
just eat. Like, it's a family get together. People get together for family. It's like a Thanksgiving, right? It's almost like the Chinese Thanksgiving, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy.
Right? People go home, they eat, big family meals. I'm trying to gear up my voiceover skills. Oh, I was talking to Perry. Maybe try to get Perry on this stream. sometime.
Oh yeah.
Perry can talk about his time at Marvel. He's also a big comic book fan. Perry is our friend who's on General Hospital.
And he's done a bunch of video game voiceovers too.
Yeah, oh
So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so and that makes it really like you guys can ask him all these questions. And I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can say anything, but his latest job is a voiceover on an animated show.
oh yeah, I don't think you're. I wouldn't mention that yet.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Um,
But yeah, Parry would actually be pretty good because he's got some good stories
yeah,
too.
we're trying to diversify the. And you can jump on. You should jump on too when Perry's on. That would be fun. Because I'm sure you guys have a bunch of stories. Denkomon, yeah, and the mooncakes now too. They got all these other mooncakes. Like, uh, your friend had the post on Instagram, Jerry. She posted up like these blue-colored mooncakes, and
Oh, Kelly, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
those mooncakes
she's
look delicious.
yeah, she's. I think she's doing something like she's using it as inspiration for her jewelry design or
Oh
something like
yeah.
that.
Do you think she would want to come on stream?
I could ask her.
Is she into
I think
comics?
she's trying to get more involved in just doing different types of media. You know.
Right. You guys looking for gifts for your significant others? That would be.
Yeah, I mean, so what she does is she does Sublima jewelry, guys. I think it's actually a really cool concept. She uses recycled silver and copper and brass, I believe, and she makes her own jewelry. And I think almost every time you buy something, I think basically every time you buy something from her site, she always donates some of the money to all sorts of different charities. I think she changes it like every month, but it's pretty cool. Her stuff is even being sold at West Elm and everything.
Oh, West Elm.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy. But her jewelry is actually pretty like fairly priced. It's not like crazy expensive or anything.
So Reagan Lodge, you're also an artist? Oh, you gotta go to sleep. Okay. All right, Reagan. Thank you for the raid. Let me see. We gotta follow Reagan. Hit a follow on Reagan. Um, let me hit that follow. Oh, I can on here. I can instantly change people uh, to mods. Oh, let me give you a mod. Let me give Jerry a mod.
What does that mean?
That means you can type in links now, and it won't. It'll show up.
Oh,
Yeah, you can link your stuff. Uh, oh, and I can put people on timeout and ban.
wow, 146 pages done, Regan. That's impressive.
What? Nice.
I hope you'll, yeah, like
Oh
let
shit.
us give us a heads up when it's out.
It's not coming up here. I'll give temporary mod privilege so that you can post your link. I'm still getting used to this all these Twitch things. Almost done. Ire Sauron. Is it?
Sight beyond sight, baby.
Yeah, this
Yes,
is
Yojimbo. He was the voice of Big Meathead in Sleeping Dogs.
who, Perry?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perry's the guy that I play poker with. There, the eye of Thundera is looking down. Or should I make it like the Thundercats logo?
Is Ultra Mega Panda? Is that David?
That sounds like David. Because he said every time your bro is cursed, every time,
Oh yes, he just texted me. That's me.
yeah, every time he tells him about one of his dates, they cancel on him. Ghost.
It's probably because you're too busy playing games, man. The only game me and Bernard play is the game of love.
Was Reagan Lodge? Oh, there he goes. He's able to. Reagan Lodge is able to post the link. Wow. Nice.
Oh, hey Bernard, I gotta step away for like a minute. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. All right. Awesome. When do you think you're going to be done with the comic, with your graphic novel? I think next time we should try to vote for Tweaky. And then we'll do a whole series of these. Um, so here's Tweaky usually is using his tail to hold back some of his hair. You know, usually you're holding back if your friend has long hair or whatever. You don't want it to end up in the toilet. What do you think we should add color to this? What color should it be? Should it be the orange color? Or that's looking a lot like Tommy. Should be done with the inks. Next 2 months. Oh, you have a day job. Wow. Okay. And you launch it on Indiegogo. Then it's coloring, lettering, printing. So you're actually going to crowdfund before you finish the whole thing. Interesting. Yeah, I guess most people do that. Right? I know Dave, he's, I guess, crowdfunded some stuff. Sean just crowdfunded a project. Although Sean's project is a different kind of crowdfunding. But good luck. When it does come out, you should pop back on. We'll try to promote it, help promote it. Let's see. Because Snarf used to, like, his tail would, like, grab a bunch of stuff, right? I don't know. He used to like Thundercats. I think the thing with all of these cartoons were basically large 30-minute commercials to sell toys. I remember someone was telling me about that TV show, The Toys That Made Us, that's on Netflix. They had a segment about Thundercats, and
Sorry about that.
it's okay. With Thundercats was the lion, the tiger that they had. They were trying to come up with something for Lionel to ride around. Oh no, that's Master of the Universe. Masters of the He-Man. Reagan Lodge. Yeah, most people crowdfund these days even before the art is drawn in most cases. Yeah, that'd be too stressful for me. So I'm getting the hard stuff done first. My coloring method is pretty simple after that. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, you don't want to get into a thing where, I mean, as an artist too, at a certain point in the creation of a project, it's always like a lot of fun in the beginning, and then you reach a point where like, oh, there's just all this work, and then other things come in, life, and then it never gets done. So I think you're on the
Are you
right
guys
track.
talking about crowdfunding, crowdsourcing books and stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of work.
Reagan Lodge is already. Yeah, you kickstarted your book, right, Jerry?
Yeah, but I think I did it the more mature way, so I finished all the artwork first.
But a lot of people they see. He's saying a lot of people don't even do the artwork yet.
Yeah, I think that's awful, actually.
Because then you're gonna get caught where you've already taken the money, and
Yeah, and then you're always going to be late. Everyone's going to be late,
yeah.
And the only way you can promise that you won't be late is by doing the work first. I mean, the book I'm working on right now, I'm hopefully going to be kickstarting that thing whenever I'm done with it. Oh, Yojimbo, I watched that He-Man documentary too. That thing was amazing, actually.
Yeah. So what were they saying? They were saying in the He-Man documentary that like the tiger that they put He-Man in was actually a toy for another line that didn't sell. So they had all this inventory, and they figured out a way to jam it into the Masters of the Universe, and have the people pop in, right, sit on it, or something like that.
Yeah, I forgot. Like it was first. There was so. I watched it when it first came out a while ago on Netflix. Something like they first started He-Man as something else or something. Crap, I can't remember. I need to watch it again. I love He-Man. I love Masters of the Universe characters.
Yeah.
That was one of my first like real toys I ever received was Skeletor and Man-at-Arms.
Have I drawn a He-Man character yet?
No, that's why I said Triclops is a He-Man character.
Yeah, but I'm not that familiar with Masters of the Universe.
You're gonna have to bone up on it, man.
I guess. No pun intended. I'm gonna have to keep a Masters of the Universe comic book in my bathroom. Yojimbo says the Garbage Pail Kids was not that good. The documentary. So, I watched the G.I. Joe. I mean, Larry Hama's in the G.I. Joe one. Reagan Lodge, yeah, I have so many friends with crowdfunded books. It seems pretty hectic once you launch. You gotta deal with customer service, people emailing you correct addresses, logistic crap, etc. Just want to focus on drawing. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, for me, I'm giving away these sketches at the end of each stream, and I've only been able to mail out a couple. It's like once you're done, you collect the address, but then now I gotta pack it and ship it. That's why we need an intern. College credit, if you guys want college credit. Jim Chung and I are looking for an intern. You'll spend part of the time working in my studio and then walk up a block and a half and then cleaning Jim Chung's studio for him.
I would say for all the guys that might be interested in that, if you actually do intern with Bernard and Jim, I think you guys would probably learn a lot. They're both, I mean, seriously, like they're both pretty good at what they do, and they have a very good professional approach to things.
Thank you, Jerry. And we'll only make you wash the toilets with a toothbrush. The first few weeks, it's gonna be like one of those wax on, wax off. You're like, Bernard, why do you have me scrubbing the toilet? I'm like, well, see, this stroke that you're scrubbing the toilet with the toothbrush, that's a pencil stroke. You apply that, now look, we have hair and shadow.
Plus, you could use Bernard's, sauna.
Oh no, not right away. No, man, you got to work up to the sauna. But yes, I do have a new infrared sauna in my home. I think I'll be jumping into that after I'm done with the stream. I jumped into that after the last stream. Oh, that was the only thing that got me uh, from off the edge of the cliff. Because the last one was like 5 hours. It's like fucking crazy. This one is like 3 hours. Oh, 2 hours, 30
Damn,
minutes.
Matthew, you're gonna wash the toilet with my toothbrush?
I already do that.
Just as angry as Michael is.
Yeah. What are you drinking tonight, Matthew? All right, I think we're done here. Jerry, did you figure out what color should I add? I want to add like a tone.
It's got to be something around his mouth, right? For the liquor.
You think?
Either that, or I guess you could use orange for Snarf himself.
For the fur?
Yeah. But I feel like if you added some color for the whatever he was drinking.
Well, it's all like chunks. He's blowing chunks.
Yeah, whatever that stuff.
I think that would be too disgusting. You think I should color the chunks? I'm adding some more chunks in there. I mean, he blew some chunks on top of the toilet. It's like all over the. I don't know what color. I think this needs a little color. Cause just like on the alien one, how I didn't color the alien portion, cause then I thought that would have made it too disgusting. I mean, there is some decorum to this stream, right? We do want to at least show some class. For now.
I can't wait for Tommy to see this drawing.
There was
The subtle red eye would be pretty funny.
a what?
Giving him red eyes.
Red eyes?
Like bloodshot eyes.
Like bloodshot eyes? Yeah, I started drawing like a little. You can see I started drawing. Well, it's kind of blurry on screen. Look at this. Lurky Lurker is now one of the top chatters. That's awesome. Snarf barf. Hashtag Snarf barf. That's what Sean. See, Sean comes up with these zingers out of left field, and they're like golden. Snarf barf. Is the Jets game over?
Yeah, Jets lost.
Oh. How much did
But
they
I
lose
did
by?
start Sam Darnold.
Did you start Sam Darnold?
Yep.
Did he do well?
He had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Got me like 23 points or something.
He had like a 48-yard scamper for
46-yard
46
touchdown
yard
run.
Yeah. That's your like that's your hall pass, huh? Sam Darnold. You got like a picture with him. How did you meet him?
I remember I had literally just gotten off a plane from Tokyo.
Yeah.
I was so jet lagged. I was super tired. And my friend Gordon called me. He lives in LA, as you know.
Yeah.
But he was in New York. And he had these like owner's suite tickets to go see the Rangers.
Nice.
And I'm like, man, I'm not going to go to a hockey game. Like, I just got off a plane,
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, you're coming. He's like, I'm in a taxi and I'm coming to pick you up. I'm like, you don't even know where I live. And he was literally just riding in a cab until I would tell him my address. He came and picked me up, brought me to the game. Lo and behold, I'm sitting next to Sam Darnold.
Wow. So that was at a
yeah,
hockey game.
Yeah, so I was sitting with Quentin Dolan, James Dolan's son. We go into like, it was wild because we had access to this private room where the food was catered by like John George and everything.
You know, the food at those games, if you're in a suite, those are the best, man.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
It's way better than like the food that you get in the concession stands.
And it was cool because like Sam Darnold was actually a super nice guy, and
You know,
he just like we had like a real conversation and everything, you know.
he was a USC alum. There was one time I go and play ball at USC, at their gym, and this is a funny story. So there's play pickup basketball in the gym, and when you play pickup basketball, basically you call next. If you have next, then you can choose depending on the gym. Every gym and every area has slightly different unwritten rules, right? If you call next, you have to call next, and then you get to pick your team. You're the other four guys that you want to play with, right? So even though there could be like four other guys waiting, you could technically not pick them up. I mean, you'd be a dick, but you know. So, anyways, I'm like, I went one time with Kadir. Kadir used to go with me to play at USC, and but we're like the two oldest guys there, and it's all it's all students from SC, and the football team would come and play, especially during the either the spring semester once the football season's over. Or during the summer semester, we go play during the summer. And so the football guys would come in and play. And this one time, the gym was packed. And I'm like, I got in there. The first thing I do is I'm like, who's got next? Who's got next? Can I run with you? Yes or no? Or I got next. I got you after you. Right? So maybe like have to wait like 2 or 3 games. So then all these like football players show up, and they're like, they call next, right? And I'm like, nah, man, I got next. And this other guy, this football guy, his neck was the width of my torso. He was like the starting linebacker for the team, right? And I'm like, no, man, I got next. You gotta wait. Right? He's like, nah, man, I got next. This is my game. And we started going back and forth a little bit. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'm not going to get into a fight. Right? And also, like, you know what? I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I remember when I was in college, and I'd go to the gym at Pratt, and I'd be like the king. Right? Because that was like my gym. So any, like, old guy from the community that would play, I'd be like, I'd have the same attitude as he would, right? Like, F you, man, this is my gym. But I was like, I got to stand my ground. And then, anyways, I said, all right, look, we'll just shoot for it. I said, we'll shoot for it. It's like, nah, man, no. I said, look, we'll shoot for it. I called it. You can ask everybody else in the gym. I called it. You say you did, but I was here before you. I'll shoot for it. So I took one shot and I missed. Right, so then, okay, so all right, your game. I missed my shot. I'll have after you. So, anyways, he won, right? I mean, he won in terms of he ended up getting the next game. And afterwards I was like, I was kind of angry, and I went over to Kadir. Like Kadir's on the side. He's like, Kadir, man, come on, you didn't back me up. He's like, dude, I'm not gonna back. Did you see the size of his neck? So, and they ended up playing. They ended up, I think, winning their game. So then it was we played.
You beat them?
I don't remember if we beat them, but it was a close game. And so afterwards we had respect. It was like mutual respect. So then in the future, like later on, like after that, every time we saw each other in the gym, he'd be like, "Yo, what's up?" But
That's a heartwarming story
yeah,
of you bonding with guys half your age.
half my age, but his neck was like my torso, and my torso is thick. I'm not a thin guy. I mean,
Hey Bernard, I'm just reading some of these messages in the chat here,
oh yeah,
and
sorry, I haven't read
I'm
any of
just
this.
wondering, what are your thoughts on interns? Actually, like, what do you think of actual internships versus like a college education? Or
Oh, what do I think? I think it's a great way to get into a company. Um, it depends, though, right? A lot of internships they don't pay. So, but I always tell young artists, your sophomore junior year, that's summer. I feel like you should be trying to get an internship at some company. Whatever company you want to work at, you should try to get an internship there and do a great job. Spend the summer learning, and then, but what you're doing is you're building up connections, really. I feel like you're like networking so that by the time, if you do this in your sophomore or junior year, by the time your senior year comes around, you've already pretty much lined up almost the job, right? What do you think, Jerry?
you know, so I used to be a graphic design art director,
You used to be art director,
and
yeah.
so over for Aeropostale, and we would regularly get interns in, like every couple months. There was always, we had a program with there's like a school in Cincinnati or Ohio, I can't remember anymore, sorry, but we paid our interns. We actually paid them pretty well, all kidding aside. But the best thing about them, well, the truth is they did do kind of crap work. They did go get coffee and do stupid shit like that,
Right.
and return clothing that we didn't want. But they did get actual work experience as well.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing that they got was anytime there was a job opening, they got a leg up on it.
Yeah. They knew about it. You would know about
Yeah.
openings that would happen, and you're making connections with the people that are actually have the possibility of hiring you, or recommending you for something else, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's on a freelance basis or on a permanent staff kind of basis. David just followed. David's been lurking for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and he just followed. Come on. Did it take you this long? It took him less time to pick up Japanese than it took him to follow. All right, look at this. I think we're pretty much done here. I put too much emphasis on his forearm.
Oh, you're not going to add any color into it?
I do, but what was the color? What was the color that we're adding? Did we come up with the color? You're saying do the puke on the toilet bowl.
Because if you do any color on Snarf or Tommy himself,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be too much color.
Right.
Which is why I think if you add a little color just to his muzzle, to his mouth,
Like, what if it was just like a coffee tone? No.
Yeah, sure. The tail cracks me up.
The tail is like, it's coming back and it's like trying to pick up his hair so it doesn't. But he's drunk. It's not someone else's tail, so the tail's not doing a great job of holding the hair back. So who asked the internship question? It was actually up there. I just saw it. Lurky Lurk. My university had an internship as highly recommended for my program. You'd pay to go to school, but you would be working for another company. I can't remember if the company paid the interns. I did not elect to do it. It was 17 years ago. Yeah. I mean, a lot of internships don't pay. I mean, again, it's not something that you want to stay, and they do take advantage, right? They should pay you something. Lunch. Like, we'll buy you lunch. I'll buy you lunch. And if you're actually doing work, then I might pay, right? But you're probably not going to be doing work. Maybe flats. If you did flats, I'd pay you for flats. in architecture, if you had an architecture degree, if you had a bachelor's in architecture, it takes about 5 years to get. After you graduate with a bachelor's in architecture, you have to intern at an architecture firm for 3 more years. But that internship, you get paid, but it's like minimum wage, or I mean, it's not a lot. And then after your 3 years of internship at a firm, then you can actually take a test. You can take the architecture exam to get your architecture license, right? So, but why would you ask? That was 17 years ago. Lurky lurk. Lurky lurk, you have a time machine?
I will say, where I went to college, which was School of Visual Arts, um, they did not recommend students going to get internships
Really?
because they felt like it was a bad idea because you wouldn't get paid, and
Yeah.
you would do bullshit work. Uh, that being said, I kind of wish I would have gotten an internship. So I was against getting an internship back then, and I started freelancing, doing some storyboards actually,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool because I was getting paid pretty well when I was a student. But it ultimately, I didn't want to be a storyboard artist,
Yeah.
and I wish I would have been encouraged to go get an internship just to give me a better idea of what I wanted to do, because I was pretty like unsure of what to do with myself after school.
Mm-hmm.
All I know that I wanted to do was like flirt with girls, which was stupid. Like I think I could have used a little more guidance, and I think an internship probably would have helped someone like me back then.
Yeah. I mean, when I was working at Imagineering, every summer they had internships, and it was very hard to get an internship at Imagineering, because you get into a big company like that, and you see all the projects. It's not just the project that you're working on, but you can walk around and like look at how a company functions. And again, I really think it's like networking. When I was at
Yeah,
Valiant, when I was at Valiant, I broke in a bunch of people, a couple people that I went to school with. I got them internships at Valiant. Uh, like their portfolio is like they're not gonna get work because they're not there yet with work. But um, I said, look, I can get you an internship. I can't get you a job, but I can get you an internship. And then you'll be in the office. You'll be working with the editors. You'll be working with production. Um, and then from there, at least your foot is in the door. And sure enough, a couple of those people, one person in particular, turned that into a coloring job. So he was interning at Valiant for a little bit, and then I guess they needed someone to color something real quick, and he was like, "I can color. I go to Pratt," and they had him color some stuff, and then that worked into uh, eventually him um, opening a coloring studio and coloring a good amount of the books there, and then doing stuff for Marvel as well. So,
that's awesome.
um,
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the work environment, right, that can only be a good thing.
right, if you got your foot in the door, um, I think it's key, and your networking. The other thing Sean also said, um, and I forgot about this, was that when I first started at Valiant, here's the other thing. When I first started at Valiant, I started immediately as a professional artist. But I would go into the office, I would drop off my artwork, I would have my meetings with Bob Layton, uh, drop off the artwork, and then I would leave. I would not hang around. I didn't hang around the production. I didn't hang around the bullpen. Valiant had a bullpen with all the other artists were hanging out in there and shooting the shit. I didn't hang around.
Why not?
I did my work. I dropped off my work. I had my meeting and I left because I wanted to be as professional as possible. I didn't want to seem like I'm like hanging out, right? I'm there for work. I'm there to turn in my work, to get my new assignment, to go over, to go to the meetings, and then that's it. I'm not there to have fun, right? And also because I was the youngest person. I was like 20 years old. So I was like younger than some of the other interns there. So I didn't want to get caught up in association with, um, you know,
Laziness.
well, not laziness, but just like I'm hanging out there to have fun, right? I wanted to leave the impression that I was about business, about getting the work done. So, and well, I wouldn't wear a suit, Yojimbo. Jimbo said I would wear like a dress shirt and a tie, and like a vest, maybe. Um, I would wear the blazer for the conventions, the Miami Vice jackets. But I show up like like a nice a collar button down shirt with a tie, um, slacks. I didn't never wore. I don't think I wore sneakers. I wore like dress shoes, and I had my portfolio, and then that was it. I didn't want them to think that I was a college student, even though I was a college student. So, um, and that worked for me. For some people it might not work for you, but it's something to consider, I feel like. Right? Like when you were working at Aeropostale as the art director and you saw some kid show up in like jeans and a t-shirt, you'd be like probably not as
Well,
trustworthy, right?
actually, okay, so we had this thing, especially for me, because I used to go to work wearing flip flops, shorts, and like a t shirt and a hat. And whenever I would interview people, some people would come in like suits,
Yeah.
and I would never consider hiring them.
Oh. Well, I didn't wear, I mean, I don't think I was like super dressed up, but it was formal enough where I felt like I wasn't like, but you're also in the fashion industry too.
Yeah, for us, it was like, you gotta, if you're gonna be designing casual wear, you better show up looking like decent, like dressy casual wear. But I also, my first job out of college actually was I worked at Morgan Stanley,
Oh, ooh la la.
which was pretty wild. Um, so I had to wear like a shirt and tie every day to work, which was very, very unusual for me. If
Yeah.
you know me, you know I would never be like dressing like that nowadays.
All right. Did we figure out the coloring on this?
A coffee stain around his mouth, sepia color.
Like a little tonal thing around here?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to fuck it up, but okay.
See these pictures you Jimbo sent me. I don't want you Jimbo to think I'm not. Wow, that's a great picture.
That's me.
Sean looks
That's me with,
Sean's got
right?
that like stalker look.
Yeah, Sean's got that's the lurky lurk look. That's
Oh wow, look at Bernard with the Miami Vice jacket on.
like Sean's. That's Aeropost. I think that's either an Aeropostale jacket or a structure jacket. I was really big on structure. Remember that
I
Star
like
Wars?
the picture of you with the tie on, Bernard.
Yeah. Even like as a freshman in school, whenever I made the team, when I made the basketball team, I would get dressed up in a suit for like away games, and whereas all the other players they're wearing like whatever hoodie.
Yeah.
I think the coach was telling them like you should dress like some slacks. But I showed up in like a suit and I didn't play. I rode the bench the first year. I didn't play at all. And the coach would be like, but that was what I saw when I worked at the Heat. When I was a ball boy for the Miami Heat. Um, all the players showed up in suits before the game, every game, right? So the mentality is that, yeah, we're playing a game, we're playing basketball, or I'm drawing comics, doing stuff that's fun, but I'm here for business. This is work. I'm here. I'm about making money.
Speaking of work, Bernard, can you finish this so that I can
I know, so that you
get
can go
ready
to
to go to
sleep.
bed?
Yeah, sorry. Keep distracting me. So what am I? I'm gonna add a little coffee. This is a little coffee. It's actually powdered coffee, instant coffee, and then it's dry, but I just added a little water to it. So I'm just gonna touch up the this mouth thing here, some of the hair here, right? Let me do this. Oh, Leland is Leland's calling. I think he's calling because of this news that's breaking.
Yeah. My phone was kind of going nuts for a little while. God, but the color, it really looks so much like Tommy.
This is a nice brush.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what type of brush are you using?
I have no idea. This is a Winsor Newton.
That's a Series 7, isn't it?
I have no idea. There's so much paint on it. I don't know.
But it's got a black barrel, like
Yeah.
a black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's most likely a Series 7.
It says Newton, so I'm assuming it's a Windsor. The Windsor part is like covered up.
Yeah, that's an expensive brush.
Is it? Okay. Well, you would know. You own an art supply store. How much would
We'll
a
have to
brush?
get you some new brushes.
How much would a brush cost like this?
What size is that? Like, do you know the number of the size? It looks like maybe a 4 or 5.
Where would the number be?
Closer to the brush tip. Oh, it's probably covered in ink. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll look at it later.
That's probably like a 30, 50, like anywhere from like a $20 to $50 range brush.
$50.
Yeah, it could be depending on the size. Because I can't tell on the camera. It looks like it could be big, but
No, it's not that big. It's about the size of a. Here, look, comparison. But it's just smooth. It goes on very smooth. I guess you get what you pay for.
yeah. Alcohol and art supplies at the store.
You know what I have I in my head right now. Is playing that Erasure song. In the new album. By the way, should I get a greatest hits Erasure or should I get the individual albums?
I can just give it to you. Then,
Easy Coburn. No, I gotta buy it. Easy Coburn. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, this is a nice brush. This may be this John Paul's brush. Sometimes I'm the lucky recipient of whenever these guys hang over, stay over, they leave some of the art supplies sometimes. All right. I think we're done. Got a color in the belly.
Snarf.
Snarf. Snarf, barf. Snarf, barf.
Uh-oh, it looks like Sean's going to come in finally.
Snarf, barf. Sean's like waiting for after all the heavy lifting's done. He's like,
Yeah,
all right,
comes at the end.
yeah, I'll come in. Yeah,
Did I
contractually.
miss anything?
Snarf, barf.
Sean, I'm looking forward to meeting your sister.
Yeah. It'd be kind of pointless.
Pointless? Why would it be pointless?
She's never dated a guy ever.
Hubba.
So,
Is she into guys or is she not into guys? Or just don't.
I don't know.
Just
I
don't
don't
know. Snarf.
Hi, Sean. I'm looking forward to it.
She'll be into Jerry. If she's never dated a guy, she'll be really into Jerry.
okay.
That was a softball one, man. That was such a softball. Underhand softball.
Oh, that Snarf turned out really well.
Thanks. Does you think it looks
It's
like
Tommy
Tommy?
Lee.
Yeah, it's Tommy Lee.
Hey,
Don't you think it looks
remember
like Tommy?
you did that sculpture of Tommy Lee? Remember with that toy?
Yeah. Tommy's my go-to if I don't have any ideas. Like, where is that? I have that. I just saw that. I'll show that next time. Okay, let's give this away. Snarf. Sean, you done with your work for the day?
He's really ripped in the forearm.
I know he's flexing. Yeah.
That's very unlike Tommy Lee.
Well, Snarf had a copy of X-Men Teen Titans in his bathroom. Or Snarf had a Sears and Roebuck catalog in the bathroom. That's what he is.
Or maybe he just had a picture of Sean, you know?
Look at that picture of Sean. Such a
that picture. Like, how much hair did I have?
devious
How did I
look.
get that much hair on the top of my head?
Is the first click?
Yeah, it's the first one.
Yeah, with Yvel. Yvel also went to Pratt. Yvel was not the person that I mentioned about the internship. The person I mentioned about the internship, he's one of the people I despise now.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. You used to call him your mortal enemy or whatever, or your arch enemy,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird because that kind of implies that you're on the same level, like that you can actually like. But I bet if you mention his name in this chat, that maybe only one other person has heard of him.
Well, since you brought that up, then I say, okay, he can't be my mortal enemy though, because he's not my equal.
Yeah, not at all. I mean,
So.
Hey, since Sean's on, I'm going to hop off and get ready. I'm going to shower up and get ready for bed.
Okay, Jerry. Thank you so much for.
he works a real job.
Jerry's got to wash this stench from Snarf.
All right, guys. It was really good talking to everyone again.
Jerry,
hopefully we'll see you guys next week or something.
Yeah,
well, I will. I mean.
And definitely we're going to try that your idea out next week.
Oh,
That
cool.
sounds
Yeah.
cool.
With the
Let's
content
do that.
creator, yeah. So,
Okay. Bye, guys. Good night.
All right.
Jerry,
Good night,
thanks.
Jerry.
Let me put up Sean here. Sean, you got a token?
Yeah, come on, you don't. We're just on for a few more minutes. I came in just in time for my favorite part, the wheel shenanigans.
Your favorite part. Okay. All right. Let me get rid of Jerry's body.
And I've been wanting to watch the news. I was thinking, like, should I watch the news or should I come into stream because there's a lot going on right now.
Something big just happened, right?
Something big. This is a game changer.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a game changer.
I'm trying to even wrap my head around what it all means, but we don't talk politics.
I mean, it was inevitable that this was going to happen. The only question is this happening because of carelessness, or is this happening because of like? Is it a planned thing to get compassion?
Strategy.
Yeah. In Taiwan, like they had a presidential election. I think I want to say like 10 years ago, and the incumbent president was going to lose, and he faked an assassination attempt, and it won the sympathy of the country. The couple of days before the election, and then ended up winning, and then they discovered after the fact, a year or two later, that it was a faked assassination attempt in order specifically to win the sympathy of the people.
Yeah, I mean, I used to think like that. They used to show pictures of the Taiwanese parliament, and how they're like always fighting. Yeah, and we always think like, wow, that makes us look really bad. But then that latest debate, that kind of shit is going on now. It's just that whenever you're really passionate, when you're really passionate and they're really divided, that stuff happens.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think the debate was about passion. It was about showmanship.
Well, if they hate each other enough, that happens.
It was about showmanship. I don't think they hate each other. It was pure showmanship. Anyways, we're getting into the rabbit hole. We can't talk about that.
Yes, we don't talk no politics.
Right? Not for now. We're gonna talk about it later when my book comes out. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of backlash.
Yeah, that's a hot take book. Not a
Yeah,
hot take.
there was a lot of backlash when they came out with the preview. Um, I'm sure when it comes out, it's going to be even more. Okay, so let's go back. This is a stream, so I want to thank everybody. Let's see. We're gonna. Oh, Isaac's here. Good.
Yeah,
Pukin,
Suli's not
Pukinson.
here to
Suli's not
claim
here.
it.
To,
Yeah.
yeah.
You notice that when Suli, like whenever you offer something up, Suli wants it. She kind of wants everything. Do you think she's just like a hoarder or like a junk collector or something?
No, that's fine. I wish she was here to win that Madden shirt earlier.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd want it. Like I want it. I
I,
want that Madden
I
shirt.
mean, I have a ton of shit. You know, some of it is like I'm just like deciding like should I throw it away, should I donate it, or will someone on stream here want it, right? But then I'm like, if I give it to someone on stream, I gotta pay to ship it. And some of these things are like
Yeah.
boxes of stuff, like toys and like other giveaways. And I'm like, fuck this. I don't know. It's like cheaper just like throw it out or donate it. But like toys, like you can't donate like collectible figurines to the homeless shelter. What are they gonna do with it? Easy Coburn. Have I used any two-in-one laptops? How do you find them? I don't understand the question. Um,
What is a two-in-one laptop?
is that a is he is that like a now he's gonna say, well, if you want to buy one, you can go to this link here, and then I mean we got I think we're gaining in popularity because we had a troll like a couple streams ago. We had a
We
troll,
did.
and then we had we had Yojimbo had to ban somebody. We had a troll,
Oh, oh,
and
oh.
then we had some spam people come on, the last couple streams, trying to push like, uh,
Yeah. By the way, that last stream, I don't know if that energy. I don't know if people thought I got very negative. I mean, you were struggling with the drawing. It was going on for 5 hours, and then we were also talking about just how hard it is to be in this business.
mm-hmm.
It just seemed to have like a negative cloud over everything and just went on for so long. Like I don't know whether that was good or bad, or people just like the reality checks part about it. But
Well, it's a very real moment. I mean, as an artist, it's very painful at times.
yeah,
Today's
but I mean,
look,
if you're
today's
gonna entertain people, I don't know.
yeah. I mean, you guys are getting an inside look. I mean, today when I did the Snarf, like I was into the Snarf idea, and then when I looked at the reference of Snarf, instantly I thought Tommy Lee Edwards.
Yeah,
And Tommy's a friend of mine, and then boom, 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 one after the other, you know, it kind of flowed relatively easily. And then I'm with Jerry, and I remember I threw up in Jerry's sink, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna draw like a drunk Snarf throwing up. So, you know, sometimes it flows really well, and then sometimes you hit a fucking wall. So, I don't know. You got negative comments, Sean? I think it was a peek
oh no,
inside. We're gonna have struggles. There's
yeah,
gonna be times where, like look, batting champ sometimes will go 0 for 3 in a game. 3-point NBA champ sometimes will go 0 for 5 in a game. Duncan Robinson didn't hit a 3-point shot in game one. I don't think he did. And he's like the leading 3-point shooter in the NBA the whole season. So
Scott Kurtz just complimented you.
Scott Kurtz, how you doing? Thank you, Scott. Easy Coburn. I do have a iMac. I have two iMacs. One that's running the stream right now. I have another iMac 27 that I run Photoshop with a Cintiq.
Is this the Scott? I'm sorry, I'm just was just kind of taken aback by Scott Kurtz. Is this the Scott Kurtz from what was it, that comic he did a while back? It was a game playing comic, right? It was really popular. Eisner Award winning artist. Yeah, I think we are humbled by the possibility that this might be the Scott Kurtz.
It is him. I guess it's
POP Online, remember? POP Online, PvP,
PvP.
player versus
Wow.
player. Yeah, remember that game? That comic? It was really
Wow.
really big.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, when we go back, I remember seeing him work a long time ago. It was like maybe like as close to like 20, 15, 20 years ago that it's been in the business. A veteran, just like us.
Yeah, do you ever have painful days of drawing, Scott? That's what we're talking about. My last stream was like over 5 hours. This one's 3 hours 13 right now. I mean, it was an hour and a half of procrastinating. All right. Everybody go follow Scott. I just followed Scott. Nice stuff. Yeah, it's been tough. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes you have tough days. Sometimes you have good days. Okay. Sean, you're not supposed to distract me. We're like setting up the wheel here. So Scott, we give away this sketch. I do a sketch every stream, and then we give it away at the end of the stream. And today was Snarf. So I'm gonna do a roll call. Everyone gets a slice. If you're a subscriber, you maintain the size of your slice even if you miss a stream. And you get one additional bonus every time you subscribe. And then if you're just following or a lurker, if you want, you can get an opportunity to win. Each consecutive stream that you're here, your slice grows. So your chances of winning. But at the same time, last time Lurky Lurk, first time chatting on stream, he won. And he had only one slice, like the smallest slice, and he won. So, and you got to be here to win. No mercy. We run by the Cobra Kai Dojo rules. No mercy. So you have to be here to win. So sometimes people are here early and then they fall asleep, or they check out and they got to do other stuff. And if they're not here, you got to be here, right? So we spin again. So right now I'm going to go through a checklist of everyone. Yoji's here, Yojimbo, Mr. Joshua, Sean Chen, Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead are my two birds. I got to put them to bed there. If Beavis and Butthead win the sketch, then they poop. I put it in the lining of their cage and they poop on it. That's the big gamble, right? Crispy Papa is here. Wei is here. Crispy Egg Roll is not here, but he's a subscriber. LeBron. Steve is not here. Barry is here. Golf Boy Sunday is here. Jing is here. Long is here. Long Woo. Even though his name is Long Was. On this stream it's Long Woo. A to the J. Is A to the J here? Did we see him earlier? I think so, maybe. Matthew Crossart, yes. Poop Kit is here. B-Dub is here. I saw him earlier. Wildstorm SSG was here, but because we didn't draw a death blow, he checked out. Shoe Thief. Remember seeing Shoe Thief? Haza's not here, but Haza is a subscriber. James Quo. Kevin P. West is here. It's James Quo. Pademos. Good to see you. Well, Pademos, let me see. You should be, yeah, Pademos. Too Woke to Toke is here. Too Woke with some funny lines earlier about Golf Boy's sister being a model. Sean, did you ever have your family ever shop at Sears?
Yeah, we got the Sears catalog.
Right, you got that catalog. That was like part catalog for clothing, household items, part
I remember
porn.
It came around Christmas. In the toy section was always good. They had a bunch of Micronaut toys in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we look at also the go-karts. They always have two or three go-karts in there.
Go-karts, electric cars, yeah. And like for the figurines, they would have them set up in these like awesome like play sets, So it wasn't just like a catalog of like the toy.
Yeah.
Like it was like they do a whole scene, mock up the whole scene.
Yeah, but then that stuff was like crack. It was the thing to look at, and I wanted so much of that stuff.
Yeah, but then and when the parents were gone and it was just me in the living room, I like look at the women's lingerie section.
Yeah, the bras and everything.
The bras, yeah. And I was saying earlier, like there's no nudity, but like you can sometimes see like the nipple.
Yeah, and then there'll be like 6 different models they would use, and then there's always like one that's really hot, so you gotta find that same model wearing a different thing. And damn if I didn't take that magazine to my room a few times.
Oh, I couldn't. It's too big to take it into your room. It's like too big. It's like too thick. Anyways, okay, let's get back. Patrick West. Is Patrick West here? Kevin P. Too Woke. Domo's a sub, but he's not here today. D. Rogers is here. Jerry was here. Sue Lee was not here. Cool Hand Luke was here. I saw him earlier. Isaac is here. Let's do this. We haven't seen Let's Do This in a while.
Yeah, he hasn't been back in a while.
Ooh, Very. Who's this? Very, I'm giving away the Snarf drawing. I give away a sketch. Usually, most of the time, whatever sketch I do, I give away at the end of the stream. So, Vaari. How long have you been watching the stream tonight, Vaari? If you jumped,
Vari, are you a lady?
if you just jumped on, we'll see. But if you've been watching for a little bit, you get a slice for free, and then I ship it out. If you live in the United States, I'm covering about an hour or so. Okay.
Oh, that qualifies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need to give Vaari a trivia? About an hour or so. That's look. We run by the honor system here. So, remind me when I get to the bottom of this list. I'll add you a slice. Pandemos, yes. Frogman. We didn't see Frogman today. 417. J13 Kim. Did not see J13 Kim, but he's a sub. Roy's here. J Dang's here. Mr. Batu. We have not seen Mr. Batu in a little bit. He came in the Reagan Lodge raid. Cool. Okay. Qualified. Bane Wrecker. Did not see Bane Wrecker. Jim Chung. Jim Chung's lurking. Alkali Lake. I'll leave a slice up for her. DY Pickle. Did not see DY Pickle today. Serpentine 666. He's sub, so we'll leave him up there. Well, all right. Thank you for the follow. You hear the birds. They want to go to sleep. Jamie Odell is here for, I think, the third time. Cool Hand Mike is not here. Cool Hand Mike, X out. Beefy Jaguar. Are you here, Beefy Jaguar? Speak up. Forever hold your truth until the next stream. I'm out. El Cabone's here. Saw him earlier. Cool Hand Mike, you're here? I just deleted your slice. I'll give you back. Added bike. Come on, you gotta be fast with the text. Cool Hand Mike. And I'm gonna add Vaeri. We'll give Scott a slice too, huh? Again, if you live in the United States, I'm covering shipping. I think these are 6x9s. How much is it to send an envelope overseas? Like a couple of bucks? Might be able to. We'll see. Lurky Lurk. I got you. Kid Ninja. I don't remember seeing Kid Ninja. Oh, J13 Kim, you are here. Okay. Well, yeah, your slice is still up. I left your slice up. Averha. Gatorade. I don't drink that much Gatorade. But I'll probably go with a natural color. Like lime green. Ultra Mega Panda. Oh, there you go. Ultra Mega Panda gets a slice. Dave. Hopefully Dave wins. Ultra Panda. Put Ultra Panda. See, Sean, right now, my gas, I'm feeling a fart coming up.
Okay.
Cool Hand Mike. I'm going to give you Blood Red. Vaare. I'm going to give you Lime Green. Scott, I'll give you a Blue Gray. Ultra Panda. I'll give you a Dark Red. Right? Anybody else wants a slice? Qualify for a slice? Averha. Anybody else wants a slice? Please type something in, or forever hold your peace until the next stream. Racer X, yes, okay, Racer X, there you go, Racer X, Racer GRX. Racer GRX, I will give you a cadmium yellow. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Speak now. Averha, are you here to ask, inquire about Gatorade flavors, or would you like a slice? Averha, you gotta hit that follow button. Easy Coburn, Mole 25, MMD Elu, Mark Hampson, any of these new guys? Michael Velasquez, you still here, or you drunk and fell asleep? Oh, Abraha already followed. Okay, Abraha. Abraha, give you a slice. Oops. Abraha. All right, I'm gonna close the slices now. Abraha, I'm gonna give you a like a purplish. It's more pink. Okay, anybody else? Well, Isaac, you qualify. Your slice just stays at 1. So you still have a chance to win. It's just your slice doesn't start accumulating additional size slices for 4 weeks. So if you win a sketch, you go back down to 1. But you still have an opportunity every stream to win. Right? Now, let's do the size slices. This is consecutive streams you guys can follow. Your Jimbo's 9 to 10. Mr. Joshua stays at 1. Crispy Papa has been a month now, so he's 2 to 3. Sean Beavis Butthead's at 1. Way 10 to 11. Was Way here earlier? Crispy Egg Roll is not here today. I don't remember seeing Crispy Egg Roll, so he stays at 10. Steve is not here today, so I don't see, he doesn't increase. Barry, 1 to 2. If Barry's still here. Golf Boy, 7 to 8. C. Jane, 2 to 3. Long's at 1, 2, 8 to J. Matthew Crossart, Poop Kid, B-Dub, all of 1 recently, should stay at 1. Wildstorm, SSG, 10 to 11, even though he might be asleep by now. Shoe Thief. Shoe Thief was here, right? Sean, do you remember seeing Shoe Thief?
I don't remember seeing him today.
Okay. All right, Shoe Thief stays at 8 unless he types something. Haza stays at 1, but he's a sub. James Quo. Did we see James Quo today? I don't remember seeing James Quo today.
I don't think so.
Kevin P stays at 1. 2 Woke stays at 1. Domo stays at 6. Patrick West stays at 6. D. Rogers, 11 to 12. Jerry stays at 1. Suli was not here. She's at 6. Cool Hand Luke stays at 1. I think you won recently. Isaac stays at 1. One more week, Isaac, and you start going up. Let's do this at 1. Pandemos at 1. Pandemos won recently too. Golf Boy won the Jerry Alien mashup sketch. Awesome. Patrick West. Okay. 6 to 7. Patrick West. Frogman stays at 4. J13 Kim, 6 to 7. Roy, 4 to 5. J Dang, 6 to 7. Mr. Batu. Mr. Batu's not here. I don't remember seeing Mr. Batu. James was here but left. Okay. Let me go back and give James his credit. James Quo, 8 to 9. J13 Kim, Roy Batu, J Dang, 7 to 8. Oh no, I already added J Dang. Mr. Batu, Bane Records at 2. Jim Chung, 3 to 4. Jim, 4th consecutive stream. Jim Chung. Alkali stays at 1. DYL Pickle, Serpentine. I don't remember seeing Serpentine today. Anybody want to vouch for Serpentine? I mean, a slice gets bigger, but if he's not here, he can't win. Jamie Odell, 1 to 2. El Capone, 1 to 2. Lurky Lurk. Lurky Lurk won the shirt. He got 2 shirts. Should that qualify? Should that take him away from the sketch? Sean?
I don't know.
He's got 2 shirts.
Well, it is
All right.
2 shirts. So.
Yeah, next time. Next week, Lurky Lurk, I'll start bumping you up. I think the shirts will have a shorter amount of time. Maybe the shirts, like if a drawing will be 4 weeks, but like a shirt or sketchbook will be like a week. Right? I think that's fair. Kid Ninja. Don't remember seeing him. Racer, 1. Cool Hand Mike. 1 to 2. Vaare, Scott, Ultra Panda, Racer GRX, and Averha. You are all at 1. Michael Velasquez is he still
Averha
here?
is Jerry's cousin.
Ooh, Cool Hand Mike. Averha is Jerry's cousin?
That's what it says there.
Who says that? Oh yeah, really? Averha? Nice. Thank you for joining. Okay, Cool Hand Mike. 2 to 3. Just gave you an extra slice for the sub. Thank you. Awesome. All the sub money so far has gone to paying for the shipping. Most of the shipping cost is still going to India and Australia, 2 packages. If you're an international... Because that package to Australia for Crispy Papa, that's big, because it's like a shirt, I think like 3 pieces of art. And
I
maybe
think it's
even
his
a sketchbook.
kid's his birthday soon, so maybe you should.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'll get it out. Okay. All right. Cool Hand Mike's in Alaska. That's domestic, right? Do they charge extra to ship to Alaska? I mean, it's in the U.S.
Got it.
Okay. We'll figure it out. Save. All right. That's the wheel. Now comes the second most fun part. Do we want a practice spin or do we not? Should I do a poll? I should do a poll. Right, Sean?
You know what you didn't do is you didn't tell that anecdote about using your real name instead of a screen name when it comes to.
So if you win, I also got to do my thank yous.
Yeah.
If you win, you need to give me, you need to DM me your name and address on Instagram. You need to give me a follow and name and address. El Cabong, who's a sub now, won one of the first sketches. Did not give me his real name, just gave me El Cabong. I wrote it on the envelope with his address, shipped it, paid for the shipping. It got to wherever he was, and then it got returned by the Postmaster General, Kevin Costner. So his drawing is sitting on my kitchen counter for like 3 months now. So
it has spider webs on it too.
Yeah,
and bird poop.
Bird poop on there as well. So you gotta give me your real name, otherwise, apparently, I cannot mail anything without real names. So, look at these people already like saying no. What are you saying no about? I have no idea what you're saying no about.
Well, the later it gets, the fewer practice spins you should do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna create a poll. Okay.
So you like setting up the wheel and then setting up polls. It's like your favorite thing.
Yeah. So that's a 2-minute poll. 2-minute poll. All right. 2-minute poll. Practice spin. Yes or no. You guys go at it. Yes or no. No more typing the no's, because I know you guys. You guys think, I gotta outsmart you guys. So now today we're doing the poll. You got 2 minutes. So you gotta click yes or no. 63 for yes, 32 for no's. There's some boosting going on here. Look at this. 65% yes, 36. So usually it never lands on the same person that it's set up right now. Right now it's set up on someone that has a teal slice. Who is that has the teal slice? Teal next to I think the poll should be over. Right now it's set up someone that's kind of big too. Right now it's Su Li. So Su Li, most chances are it's not going to spin back around to the same. Although last time I said that it I think you guys still got like a couple seconds left in the. It's pretty close. It's 50-50 right now. 50-50. Holy shit. 50-50. It is now the no's are winning. Now the no's are winning. It's like 243 to 234. Holy cow! This is like November 3rd.
You're losing viewers too.
We got like, are we losing viewers? No, we're still staying. We're staying like at 47. We've like averaged like mid to high 40s. We have less than like 10 seconds left. The yeses have gone back up 49%, 51% 49. I think I should just do a 1 minute poll next time. Still getting used to these polls. So excited. No's are back up. Okay. No practice. No's have won. Okay. No's have won. Oh, thank you for contributing with the bits. You can use channel points too, so you can free. You know, I don't really not pushing people to spend money. Just
to spend money on that. Oh God.
I think when we start coming up with ideas for characters and shit to do, then we can add the bits. But it was just an option that I clicked. But you can use your channel point. Channel points are free, right? Okay, no practice spin. The no's have won. Good luck, everyone. By the way, I want to thank Yojimbo, the greatest mod on Twitch.
Absolutely.
Thank you for hanging in there last time. Thank you for everybody for watching. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry's not here anymore, but thank you, Mike Velasquez. Thank you for the new people. Thank you for hanging on with us. It's 3 hours and 34 minutes. This is a lot of fun. So I know, Sean, you've expressed that you enjoy doing this. I know Jerry calls me up. He's like, when are you streaming next?
Yeah, I mean, it's pandemic times. We got no one but little kids around here, so.
Yeah, I really built a nice kinship with everyone here. One of these days, Pandemos, thank you, no mercy. One of these days, we'll have to meet up in person, right?
Yeah.
At a show, at a various
San Diego,
convention.
probably.
Yeah. Yojimbo's got a free pass to any show that I go to, including San Diego. So, Steve,
although
not
he has
so
to
much.
fly himself there.
Yeah, you got to fly yourself out. But if you happen to be at a show that I'm at, free pass. So, okay, here goes the spin.
Free dinner too.
Free dinner. Yeah, I'll throw in free dinner. At McDonald's though. No, it'd be a nice dinner. Okay. Let's see. No mercy. Let's spin. Good luck. All right. We might try to stream again this weekend, but I'm not sure. But definitely next Tuesday. Spin wheel. Ooh, that looks like a first timer. Because there's such a small slice. But let me look at. There's crispy and there's golf boy. So crispy.
Better not be the birds.
Golf boy. No, it's pretty far down, and it's like a pastel. It might be long. All right, let me. It's either long or A to the J. This is what happens when you have like a lot of people.
Yeah. There used to be only 7 people on that wheel.
And I gotta figure out some other wheels or some other giveaway options. I think later on too we'll do one where like only subs only can win a particular sketch. Eventually we'll get to a point where like, okay, if we do like 2 drawings, one drawing will be for everyone and then one drawing will be like subs only. Yeah, it's so small no matter how far I zoom in, but it's between Golf Boy Sunday and Wildstorm. So
there's nothing written in that slice.
It's so small you can't. So Golf Boy Sunday and Wildstorm is the big one. Golf Boy Sunday. Next to Golf Boy Sunday is CG, which is the green, right? And then it's Long. So is Long still here?
Oh yeah, and Long is here.
Is Long still there? You go. Congratulations, Long. Look at that.
Long was. There you go.
Long was, yeah. Long Woo. Long had the biggest slice in the history of the stream. I think it was at
Yes.
14. And he didn't win for long. Now he's won 2 in a row, or 2 out of the last 3. 2 out of the last 4. Won the Blue Beetle one. So congrats,
wow.
Long. Yeah, 2 out of the last 4 or 5. So Wong has a pretty high consistent win rating now, but early on he was like the wheel did not leg long. Yeah.
Now I won with a micro slice.
So you guys, again, if you're just watching once, look at that. Long had the smallest slice. He had only 1, and he still won. So, but next time, if the people with the bigger slices usually have a better chance if we do multiple spins. That's why if you have a big slice, you should probably try to push for the practice spin. But the one time we did that with Long, when he had the biggest slice, we did the practice spin. The first practice spin ended up back on him. He eventually won that day because I think we spun like 3 times. So I think the algorithm is on the third or fourth spin, usually the biggest slice ends up winning. But congratulations, Long. Snarf. Sean, can you say a snarf before we go?
Snarf.
There you go. All right. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe. Wear a mask.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Yeah, so
we'll see you.
Thanks for hanging in there.
Yeah, thanks for hanging in there. Jimbo, thank you so much. Dinner's on Sean.
Absolutely. When this is all over, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get together.
And Scott, thanks for stopping by. And everybody else, too. New people, way high, everybody. Crispy Papa, thank you so much. We'll see you guys soon. Okay, take care.
All right, take care. Bye.